Welcome everyone to the Diablo 4 PTR. We have already created a couple of trillion damage builds that are really looking juicy. And today we're going to be focusing on the Barbarian with Hammer of the Ancients and also Ball of Lightning Sorceress. Put everything properly online. That is going well. Thank you very much. This one is online too. Just to give you a feeling for what we got running, let's pull out the Stormcrow Druid. That's one of my more favorite ones. And jump into an Infernal Horde. Yeah, some new Infernal Horde stuff. We have, do we even have Infernal Horde keys? No, we don't. So we gotta jump into one of these hits. We've been running 100 just for some speed. We actually do use instances, yes. And just to give you a feeling for how much we can break the PTR right now. For the people that haven't seen the Druid yet, the full build is, by the way, uploaded on the channel. We got trillions of damage. And this is not the bugged version that is overtuned, right? This is merely the good version that's overtuned. Bulldozer, get to see it there. We get nothing buggeroony doodle dandy Andy going on here. Nah, just something rather powerful that's, frankly spoken, ridiculous. Right, so moin moin, guten Morgen. I hope you're doing good. Hope you have a good Saturday. We got a juicy little stream for you. Can't wait to see how the Barbarian is working, because the Barbarian is actually playing with Exploding Earthquakes and Hammer of the Ancients. And I've always liked the Exploding Earthquakes, I gotta say. How's the PTR? The PTR is great fun. Like, so far, chaotic uniques are an absolute staple. I mean, I have chaotic uniques almost on every single build, 2 or 3. It's gonna be interesting to see how well do they drop, though. Because that's like the more intriguing part. How easy do we actually get these chaotic uniques? Yes, Bartik is supposed to drop them. Also, Belial is supposed to drop them. What we could potentially do is we could kill Belial a couple of times right now to actually see how well he does. So yeah, maybe that's something we should be doing. Because I always want, like, yeah, we need to test that. I hope that they give us tons of them. I hope that the seasonal journey has tons of chaotic uniques. I hope that the seasonal reputation board has tons of chaotic uniques. Because if they make a scramble for them, it's going to be sad. Howdy, Shane. Good to see you there, partner. So this was just the Ravens to give you a feeling. And before we swap over to Barbarian and Ball of Lightning, I think we're going to do exactly what I just said. Let's do some Belials to see how much we get. I think there's a good Shred Storm build to Killdozer. Everything that works with core skills and everything that can stack a lot of spirit will be good on Druid because of overabundance. Yes, they will most likely nerf overabundance a silly little bit, but not by much. Okay, boss material. Yeah, let's go and get some Belial mats. Betrayer's Husk, and then we can see how much he drops. You had a great Gamescom, Zalmagan. Honestly, I wasn't there too much. Just 2 days for meetings, unannounced games and stuff. I'll be fair. I didn't actually have to go. I could have just kept Gamescom under wraps this year. I mean, I still wanted to do it, right? But still, yeah. But the Diablo, Andreas, don't worry. We're gonna have some other cool games up and coming. I mean, right now we gotta check out the PTR, but the PTR is soon gone again. And then we are preparing for the launch of Path of Exile 2 patch 030. I have a bunch of videos planned out, like winners of the patch, top ascendancies, what you should start, starter builds, like the whole package, right? Okay, Blake, he dies very easy. So, what do you think? What's the prediction here? How many chaotic uniques are we going to get? I am going to loot, let's say, Duriel, because I'm looking for Banished Lord's Talisman, right? So, how many of those? Like, we got 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many are going to be chaotic? Not a single one being chaotic. That's sad. I would have hoped that at least like they're make it that one of them is going to be chaotic, right? Why not Dune? There's nothing in Dune, brother. I mean, like, what do you want me to do in Dune? The same? We're currently waiting in Dune that they actually release the meaningful content patch, and before that happens, there's nothing to do. Okay. Let's see, another aid. Yeah, again, not a chaotic unique. I'm not sure if like he's going to be dropping chaotic uniques, but I was promised that every 8th unique should be a chaotic unique, right? And right now they're failing that one to really make every 8th a chaotic unique. That's a bit sad. Obviously, Bartik is going to drop that too, but Belial is supposed to drop that too. I got 2 Hordes today. You can get them from Obel Gambling as well. You can get them from Hordes when you kill Bartik. You can get them everywhere. The thing is, like, an Infernal Horde takes 866 minutes. So, end of the day, what we're going to have is Belial farm again to get specific chaotic uniques, right? Yeah, not a single chaotic unique. That's a bit sad. Are we going to ever revisit the Bazaar? Nope. The game is dead for me. Their pay-to-win weirdness and the way how they're marketing themselves and everything. Game lost me. I do enjoy the Bazaar, but if a game is just trash when it comes down to the monetization, then I'm just willing to say, nope, not for me. It's also what's holding the game back pretty much from getting more popularity. Simple as cake. When did you switch to that microphone? Quite a while ago, sir.
That looks worse. I can fix it.
Okay, now let's do the new builds. We wanted to test Hammer of the Ancients. I have seen stuff that can do up to trillions of damage. So we're going to be experimenting around a little bit. Why is the YouTube stream that you stream out of a phone? Sir, there's 2 streams. There's a vertical and there's a horizontal stream on YouTube. You can watch both, however you wish. Right? So we are going for the PTR vendor dude. Apply all boosts. Goal is to get a lot of chaos uniques for this one. I'll need the Ring of Starless Skies though, so let's get that one first. Ring. Starless. Thank you very much. Already out of the window. It's a microphone. It's an Aston Spirit. An Aston Argent, actually, not the Spirit. Sorry. Did you miss the RV? No, I have it here. The RE20. But the RE20 was never good for my actual voice. You know? Sometimes a microphone is not good for your voice. It doesn't fit your way of speaking. It doesn't fit your voice level and what everything kind of. Temper manuals. Staying with me. Yeah, okay. Temper manuals. For Barbarian. Good. So, we're going to get a lot of chaos uniques for Barb. So, this is probably the one time I'm using the most chaos uniques possible, okay? We're going to get a step number 1 glove. For the glove, we will need the Crown of Lucian to make our skill cost more. So we got the Crown of Lucian here as gloves, because then it's 18% instead of 15%, so it's 90% damage instead of 75% damage, which is actually huge. Then as our helmet, no boots, we need the Ring of Red Furor. Again, instead of playing a ring, we're getting the ring as our Pain Gorgeous here. So this one says, after spending 100 Fury within 5 seconds, your next non-channel core or weapon mastery skill cast within 5 seconds is guaranteed critical strike and deals 96% bonus critical strike damage. So the more Fury we spend, the better it is. And we will guaranteed critical strike, right? And that's why we're playing the Crown of Lucian. Because if the Crown of Lucian makes our skills cost more, and we spend 100 with every cast, then what's going to happen, chat? We're going to always, every single cast, get the bonus critical strike damage, right? Aha. Kind of nice. Good. Now, next one is going to be our helmet. And the helmet is funny because on the helmet, we're going to play a chest piece, and on the chest piece, we're going to play a helmet. Yeah. So you get the Mantles of the Mountain's Fury. Mantle of the Mountain's Fury would usually be played as your chest. But the Hammer of Ancients also forms a seismic line that deals its damage and slows enemies hit by 96% for 4 seconds. Earthquakes as passes through explode. This one is obviously more powerful if we play it over there, because we also need to play the Ugly Bastard's Helmet that's going to make us do more fire damage. But why would we play an item that makes us do so much more fire damage as a helmet, when as a chaotic unique, it would just do more? Which is interesting because you could play it the other way around, correct? But this way around is just more damage. So this gives us 60% more fire damage, or 72% more fire damage, if we played as a chest piece. Very intriguing. Okay, that is like, how many chaotic uniques? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed it. We also are playing our legs. For this one, we might have to do a bit more gambling because I need a Fist of Fate and I need a decent Fist of Fate. So that's a bit unlucky. So I need Fist of Fate and preferable with an okay attack speed and an okay lucky hit chance. No, that's a non-existent lucky hit chance. Kind of sad. We'll keep it for now and see how that turns out if I need to mingle and jingle with that. Then we still need... Oh, we need actually the Grandfather. Where is it? A two-handed sword. Why the Grandfather? Increase your critical strike damage by 100%. It's a waste to not actually play that one. So you might as well just whoopie-doodle it out. Is Hoda going to be good at Season 10? Well, that's what we're here to figure out, my friend. We're going to be currently just throwing everything at it, not really looking for the perfect masterworks and everything, right? Just maxing everything out, and then we'll see if it turns out to be amazing or not. We're sending a mini YouTube, sir, ma'am, dudes, everyone that is on the vertical stream. There's also a horizontal stream on YouTube. The vertical stream says vertical before it, okay? And there's the horizontal stream that doesn't say vertical before it. Don't have to go to Twitch. You can watch on YouTube. Okay, we got all of this leveled up. Now, what else do we need? We need a aspect of Ancestral Force on a bludgeoning weapon. Yeah. Where are my... Well, you know what? You could probably stay. You could probably stay. Let's keep the hammer. This is the...
Such poor equipment. Let me help.
Would be Ancestral Force. Which has our Hammer of Ancients, quakes outward, dealing damage. Good. Slow and steady, chat. We need another unique, and this one should be a generic one. Now, I could have put this away from the amulet slot, okay? So instead of playing the Fist of Fate here, for example, I could play the amulet in that space. But we want to put it there. And we're going to actually play the Banished Lord's Talisman, okay? Also, Banished Lord's Talisman says, again, core skills every 275 resource is an overpower. So we're going to have to make our Hammer of Ancients as costly as possible that we can actually use this. Now, the question rather is if we are going to actually play the Ring of Starless Skies or not. Because the Ring of Starless Skies kind of counteracts what we're doing there, okay? We'll see how well that works. Step number 1, we're going to put on a Beast Cornered. Beast Cornered says, for every 10% of your life missing, you gain 20% increased damage and 5% damage reduction. Spending resource also drains a percentage of your life and refunds resource at the same time. That's actually a very good wombo combo. Then you have Marred Guard, which also puts you below 50% life, but gives you some barrier. We're going to get Accelerating Chaos for some cooldown reduction, and then Erupting Chaos for even more cooldown reduction. I wonder how that will work. I really wonder how that will work. Then we need a new class unique that is not in yet. And that would be called the Sword Saber of Sagal. Sword. Here, that's the new one. It says you gain 5% increased damage for each damaging skill you have equipped, and additional 9.4 for 15 seconds when each of those skills is used. Also gives 4 ranks into core skills, which is actually pretty amazing. I'm gonna like that. That's pretty good, right? Technically, you would want to have like the core skill masterwork, and then the core skill masterwork, and then the core skill masterwork. And this one is definitely not masterworking the core skill correct. Sending viewers to a whole different platform just for a better picture is stupid. Israel, you're stupid. Okay, so I'll do this one more time for you, Israel, because you missed this. Okay, so there is 2 streams here. One says vertical, one says normal, right? So like you don't have to go to a whole new platform. You can just watch here on Twitch, on YouTube. So before calling anyone stupid or slurs or names, maybe stop being stupid yourself. Okay? Random advice. We need double damage on Hammer of Ancients. Yep, 40%. I wonder how easy it is to get that to 100%. I mean, I got the Hammer of Ancients here. Okay, I don't have the Hammer of Ancients. Hammer of Ancients, 33%, right? And then we're also going to get critical strike damage or overpower damage. Good. Now you could obviously try to masterwork that, and it's going to go higher. But we also have like our other weapon where we could temper that on too. And I think with 2 tempers, like this is 46% already, right? So we're sitting at what, 56.1%. It could be 68%. That means my second weapon, if that gets the Hammer of Ancients temper too, it's going to be at 16.5. So we could go for 68 and 16.5. Yeah, you can get that to 100%, right? There's like no question that we could easily get that up. And right now I obviously missed the maximum roll on it, so that's kind of sad. Let me try to at least hit the masterwork one time on it as well, that we like just get somewhat to 100%. And we can later try to get a perfect weapon to kind of make this work. But right now I just need to know if it works, you know? Are they releasing a new unique for each class? No. I mean, yes, they are releasing new uniques for each class, but the uniques are actually not that exciting this season. What is exciting are the chaotic uniques, in case you missed it. What are chaotic uniques? They are standard uniques in a different slot. So the Crown of Lucian is a helmet, but this time it's a glove, right? And that's like the real exciting thing about this, that you're getting stuff in different slots, which is like kind of freaking super cool, isn't it? Who does not like to have stuff in different slots? I'm gonna be probably sad that this won't turn into a permanent feature, because I would have really liked this to be a permanent feature. I'll tell you that much for free. Okay, a lot of strength bonus. We like that. Should have enough armor, so I'll be in need of dominating it up. Chaotic uniques are crazy because they're always maxed out aspect. So you don't actually, like, some uniques are just great because of their aspect, and you don't need a greater affix or anything on them. And if you already have the maxed out aspect, it's just going to feel amazing. Okay, we got our skills. Put them in first. The first time for me playing like a full Hammer of Ancients build. I usually don't mess very much with Hammer of Ancients. I kind of missed the complete Hammer of Ancients time. So I gotta get used to what the Hammer of Ancient actually does, right? Gains 5 critical strike chance for every 10 fury you had when cast. Oh, so if we cast this with maximum fury, it's actually a good thing. I understand. That makes so much sense. Okay, cool. Gonna take a whiffy to get used to, right? Complete new way of me for playing Barb. I've been mostly focusing on other Barbarian stuff. Maybe this will actually be something fun to play. Who knows? It shouts longer. Wonder what key passive we're rocking. Hota Rupture will be meta. This is not Hota Rupture. What do you mean Hota and Rupture will be meta? Yes, Rupture should be meta, definitely. I have messed around a bit with Rupture and I wasn't too pleased yet. It's not saying that I won't be pleased down the line. I just wasn't too pleased yet with what I saw on the Rupture side. But we'll experiment. One more point left over. It's the new season in October. So we got now a full month of enjoying our good old Path of Exile 2. And I'll do my best to just have an absolute amazing one with that. Now, since we're consistently lowering our life with every single skill cast, what we can try out is actually an interesting concept. So you get an aspect that no one used before, guys. And it's called Starlight. Gain 45 of your primary resource for every 20% of your life that you heal, or every 120% of life that you overhealed while at maximum life. Okay. Thing is that you're now healing as we're spending resource. Okay. And we're healing with our Fortify 2. And we're making our resource cost more. So it could work. And we need the aspect of earthquakes. For the main reason that when we stand into an earthquake, we do more damage. And with groundstone, we can make said earthquakes. So we're going to have Hammer of Ancients for spamming. Then we have those shouts for shouting. We're going to have this for thising. Yeah. And then we're going to have the stomp for stomping. Not sure how that will turn out. Expertise is going to be expertise. Slightly. We need Wrath of the Berserker cooldown. Because you want to use Wrath of the Berserker. Was the PoE 2 patch out again? 29th. I already told the wife that I will have to work on that day. And the whole weekend ahead of me. So there will be no... Wow, that's pretty sad. Need a different ring. Need a different ring. Random legendaries. Random legendaries. Walk away. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it at least has to be somewhat in the right direction, correct? I'm not going to use just a broken ring, a wrong ring. At least my temper wants to be correct. Okay, there is no Wrath of the Berserker cooldown reduction, chat. It just simply doesn't exist anymore. Thank you very much. Holy moly. Absolutely annoying twat. You're wondering where did it go? How's season 10 looking so far? Every build we have made has been great fun. There's one that didn't work really out. That was the Flash Render Druid, but I'm gonna blame myself for not having the proper knowledge to like propagate it correctly. So far, everything has been just blissful, blessing, fun. Obviously, the PTR is always skewed because you have more power than you should have. AKA, we're having... come on, say, Brain. We're having... all our glyphs to 100. And that's usually a power level that doesn't exist, right? You don't have all your glyphs to 100. So that's something that sadly always skews the experience a little bit. But it's okay. So we're putting on Wrath for more critical strike damage. And also the Fury generation. So that's important because we want to have that bonus Fury generation. Actually, I should probably be able to go over this one. Right? And then we can go over here. Yep. Here we get the Fury. Then we're going to go for the Flawless Technique. That allows us to get more critical strike chance and damage into the Crusher. Crusher would be mace damage with a two-handed weapon. While we're also picking up more critical strike damage. Because who does not like critical strike damage, right, ladies and gentlemen? We get attack speed, so we can faster smash. And more maximum life, because maximum life is always king. Damage reduction from close enemies. I'm gonna go out to the side into the Carnage board for Berserking bonuses. Doop, doop, doop. And we pick up the damage reduction there too. And we're going to put in Marshall. Marshall was for the shout skill cooldown. Yabba dabba doo. And pick up all the crit damage again, because crit damage is king. What is your favorite Diablo 4 class? It is Necromancer, but Necromancer has been rather disappointing as of late. When it comes down to build variety and other things. So I like it. I love it. Necromancer is my big friend. It could be tons better though. Like there's a lot of things that's holding Necro back, and I'm hoping that they address these holding backsies, and we'll see Necromancer rise to the station that it deserves to be in. But yeah, we will see how that will work or not, right? Maybe in the future we'll see more Necromancer fun variety again. Because honestly, it's been a bit sad that they're unable to make Necromancer get a skill to command their minions. I mean, we are now how many seasons in? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but like 2-3 seasons into the game, right? And Necromancer is still lacking a skill to command their minions. Somehow. Like, right? Somehow. Like, at this point. You have no opportunity to command your minions to do something that you want them to do. No, you gotta wait for your minions to somehow randomly run in the right direction and hopefully do what you're hoping them to do. I mean, like, that's totally fine, obviously. No one's mad about that. Why would you be? Mad about such an obvious flaw in game design, or sad, or anything. But yeah, maybe in the future. Any D4 beginner guides? Yes, tons. What class do you think will start in PoE 2? Steven, I haven't settled yet. I haven't decided yet. There will be a lot of discussions coming in the up and coming days. So my next videos, I have one more Diablo 4 video planned. And then my next videos will all be about which ascendancy had the biggest, was the biggest winner, and which builds then are going to profit the most from actually what the new Path of Exile season brings. There's a lot of homework for me to do, a lot of patch reading again, and my conclusions will follow in the up and coming days. We'll actually do like a live stream on Path of Exile 2, where I just deep dive into these things. Okay, that's at least my plan. But I have not decided. Okay, we got Hammer of Ancients. We got all of our shouts. We get 23,000 life. We got our Paragon board done. Let's scoop and poop into like a low-level pit first to kind of just see what kind of damage are we outputting, and if I need to adjust or push something somewhere else. Yeah. First low-level pit. 75. That's for Seasonal Journey. It's a very build for Necro. I mean, my favorite build is always minions. But sadly, minions are sad. Right? Okay, we have no spirit. Spirit. Well, that's 1 billion damage. Okay, so that one worked out. Okay, the damage seems solid so far. We're doing billions, okay? When our overpowers are overpowering. I gotta see how much resistance we have because we just died. Our resistances are somewhat not existent. Okay. Okay, there is the 17 billion. How much does it? How much do we make Hammer of Ancient cost? More interesting to me. It kind of works, but I'm not seeing big damage I'd like yet. 15 billion, it's good. It's somewhat working. We have 169. This costs 60. Okay. 60. Wonder if we profit from making it more expensive. Okay. 60 is good, but it's not enough overpowers yet. Wonder how much spirit we will create when... Get out of here. So the idea is, if we don't play the Ring of Starless Skies, okay, then we're not going to be having the reduction of spirit happening, or fury, and we have to live with higher spirit cost. I'm just not sure if you can handle that. But if you get a higher spirit cost, it would be good. Because right now, 275 divided by 60 is every 4.6 hits. So every 5th hit is an overpower with a Banished Lord's Talisman. Right? I'm sitting at a maximum of 169. Need to make 5 multiple, and they need to please hit me. So you might notice a different now, more overpowers. But I still have all the fury. So my skill now costs 119 fury, chat. Right? So my skill costs 119 fury, then suddenly it's every 3rd attack is an overpower. Kind of makes sense, right? Especially since overpowers is where my damage goes nasty. Every 3rd attack is an overpower, that's huge. Okay, that's good. That's already good. That's better. So we can maintain the fury cost of this. That's pretty good. I have a 9,000, 9070? 9,700? 9070? Yeah, the 90 series. Grandfather will be worth it this season for Barb. There you go. We could add even more overpower to this. That's interesting. Okay, first and foremost, what we need to do is we need to get more earthquakes, guys, right? Why do we need to get more earthquakes? Because we explode earthquakes. That means we continuously, at any given point, want to make earthquakes. For that, we'll use Igni. Why Igni? An earthquake is only 25 or 50 offering, and stores 25 offering every 0.6 seconds. So like this, every 0.3 seconds, 25, every 0.6 seconds, 50. So every second we get an earthquake. That's actually pretty good. Then we can take Ahu. And Ahu is a lucky hit. So when we actually lucky hit enemies, we can trigger Zan. That's Ahu Zan, and that should work really good. But this Ahu Zan also forces me to get a better Fist of Fate. Yeah. Now, how do I get a good Fist of Fate pants? Do I have more... Black? Chaos, gloves, legs. I'm hoping to get a better Fist of Fate here out of this right now. Fist is somewhere in the middle. Mother's Embrace, and Lockerin, Score, Godslayer, Fist of Fate. Yeah, see that this is a high lucky hit chance, so that should actually work slightly better. I mean, I would prefer to have attack speed here as well, so that's a bit of a bummer. Like, you don't want the greater affix lucky hit chance, but it doesn't hurt because that makes your Hammer of Ancients have a 99% lucky hit chance, and then 99% with the Ahu having also a 100% lucky hit chance means that every hit is lucky hit. Does that make sense? Every hit is lucky hit, chat. Every hit is lucky hit. Steven, by the way, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships over on the YouTube. That's absolutely kind of you to make 5 more members for us. Dankeschön. That reminds me that I forgot to turn something on. When does this release? Start of October. Start of October. Let me see that we get this one properly running because I forget to turn on the alerts. Sorry, Steven. You completely missed out on your moment of glory, and it's my fault. Dunzo. Dispatcher, good to see you there. Okay, let's head back into the... I know, we need to put a socket in and desocket the item. Actually, keep the other one. Let's destroy the Ring of Starless and think about what other ring do we want to wield, okay, Chad? What other ring do we want to have? What other aspect could we put into this for now? The lightning setup you had looked super cool. Don't worry, I have another one. Because I wanted to try out Ball of Lightning today as well. Because I kind of felt like, yeah, so it's cool what we have, but what about Ball of Lightning? Can we do Ball of Lightning cool too? So that's another thing I would really like to try out. Okay, let's get any kind of ring here. Actually, if I don't play the Ring of Starless Skies, I could put the Ring of Red Furor as my main ring, and I could play a different unique as my boots. Then I could play my Banished Lord's Talisman as my boots. Wow, I masterworked the fire resistance. Okay, you know what? I hate that. I need to actually reset that masterworking because I really don't want to masterwork the fire resistance. What's that? Like, what? That's painful, Chad. Bullshit. Okay, what could we play for an aspect? So we have currently the aspect of earthquakes, so we do more damage when we're in an earthquake, so we have to make earthquakes. We have the Hammer of Ancient goes outwards, and we have the Starlight aspect. What other good aspects does Barbarian have? I'm like, still, when it comes down to Barb, I'm a bit behind in that, right? I'm still learning. Is there anything useful earthquake or Hammer of Ancient wise generally? Otherwise than the Ancestral Force. No, Ancestral Force is the only Hammer of Ancient aspect for real. That's so sad. I mean, worst case scenario, you could play the Accelerating aspect just for more attack speed, but that seems so eh. I could get more damage reduction from life missing, but that seems to also be so Casting ultimate. Our second around is also kind of sad. I mean, there's nothing like too intriguing. I could stand still and do more damage. Even that one isn't really... Wow. Barbarian has very sad aspects. Like, you have so many aspects, but there's like nothing... Sometimes there's like nothing too exciting going on, really. And that really makes you go, game. I need, you know, I need this. Let's just stay with that right now. Must be nice on the PTR to not worry about Matt's current CDC. It is absolutely nice, sir. I mean, that's the main reason why playing PTR is so much fun. It's like playing Diablo 4 with cheats, because as you say, you can once in a lifetime just focus on having a good time instead of like, how do I make these things work, right? I personally like that, and it's the main reason why I do play PTR so often. What's the best starting class in your opinion? Usually Necromancer, because Necromancer is a low investment, high outcome class. So you do, like, with minimal efforts, you become absurdly powerful, and that is something that the other classes do struggle with to get to that point easily. Right? Let's do the same 75. Obviously, we get more than a 75, but it's just like, let's first get it tested and then scale up where we're going. And now we have always earthquakes, so my damage is just better. My thingy just holds up. That's also nice. I'm more surprised how much resource we're creating. Really good. Need some more movement speed. Zoom around better. Now we're doing high billions, but not trillions. Still, this would be fun right now. I kind of like that I get to play Banished Lord's Talisman on all these builds. Oh, stunned. So like the damage, like the Banished Lord's Talisman, if I could make my ability a bit more expensive, that would be better. So I technically, can Barb make their core skills cost more? Usually every class has like one passive that makes your core skills more expensive. Does Barb have something like that? Any D4 build guides on your channel? Tons, sir. We just uploaded like the last 3 ones for the PTR, and we also have tons of build guides for the running season. And they're all labeled by name and what they do. Just scroll a bit through. And all of the builds are without mythics, because I want you to be able to achieve these builds easily. So my builds are all very casual friendly and not just no life gamer friendly. Yeah, this could obviously do a higher pit tier as well, right? So it can't just do the lower pit tiers. It could also do a higher pit tier. But again, we got to figure out if I could make my skill more expensive. If I could make my skill even more expensive than it is right now, then every second hammer would be an overpower. So right now, every third hammer is an overpower, which is good. I mean, the more attack speed I have, the crazier it would go. But if I managed to make every second hammer an overpower, that would actually be nutty. And think about it, right? That's insane overpower galore. I don't like playing with Half-Life. Well, I mean, it's not like we're taking any damage. Right? There's a rune that spends all racers to increase damage. Yeah, we're not using that. For the simple reason that is really not needed. We're going just for more overpowers. In our case. Okay, this is good. Not as fast as I'd like it to be, but I'm kind of like forced to localize kill things, so I could just pull more things together to do more damage. What do you think about the changes coming to Path of Exile 2? Oh, Path of Exile has done fantastic. I mean, they're once again doing more with one patch than some of the other developers in like 2 years, which is quite great to see. Okay, that boss is just getting trashed. Okay, even against a boss, I can keep my resource up. Okay, that's fantastic. We like it. So we have Unbridled Rage, which has our core skills do more damage, but cost 100% more fury, which we actually want, right? But I just see like we don't have anything to make our core skills cost more fury in Barbarian. That's so sad. Oh, that's so sad, Chad. I can't make my core skills even more expensive. Pretty not cool. How much does Hammer of the Ancient usually cost? So if I put this one off, we're sitting at 24. But we're sitting at 24. How expensive does it get inside the Petri dish? Would you say Diablo is easy to get into and understand? Absolutely. Diablo has always been on the easier side of ARPGs, and that's good. At Diablo 4, at least. Sorry. That's good, because casuals want good ARPGs too, right? They can enjoy. Not everyone wants to have a PhD in Path of Exile. So people just want to play games, right? They just want to play games, brother. There will obviously be changes after the PTR. There's always changes after the PTR, but we got to look at what's bugged, what's broken, what's overtuned, what needs leveling, pretty much. Right now, Druid is somewhat too strong, quotation mark, and that's down to one of their chaotic perks. But that is obviously really easy to get under control, because if one chaotic perk is too strong, you just, you know, balance that chaotic perk, and Druid is still going to be plenty strong. How do you feel about Rogue? Sadly, the new Rogue unique is completely useless. I mean, seriously, the whole reload thing makes things just clunky and awkward. So we're going from a potential cool new mechanic to, nah, this is bad, chief. So yeah, right now my ability would cost 60 instead of 100. 60 is every 5th again instead of every 3rd. I think I really prefer every 3rd to be an overpowered Chan. Everything else just feels awkward. It's not only every 3rd being an overpower, as you notice, like we're overpowering way more. That has a lot to do with the Ahu rune, because you got here this thingy, like the ability, that works with lucky hit, and it just kind of like goes up really quick. They pretty much have like every second to third hit be an overpower. This leads to a lot of overpowers, and I love when a class can overpower a lot. It makes Ponyhound really happy. Can you make more videos on Shadowblight? I mean, Shadowblight is as good as it is. There's nothing really new to talk about at this point. Okay, it's better to play the other key passive. So the Unbridled Rage. Is there really nothing you can make your things more expensive? I'm just so saddened, you know? I like just to make things more expensive, but no, not really. Okay, what can we do different now? So we want to have the double damage, obviously, to do more damage. We need more ranks into core skills because your Hammer of Ancient needs to be as big as possible. You need more critical strike damage so that your grandfather is critical strike, multiplying that upwards. See what we can squeeze out if we actually pay attention, right? For strength, yeah, thank you very much. Let's crit and crit. I mean, this overpower damage is obviously useless with a greater affix. You get the attack speed here. We get no attack speed there. We get the lucky hit chance. Which is good. Chance to do fire damage. We could obviously try to get, like, here, more ranks into Hammer of Ancients, right? And a greater affix to Hammer of Ancients. The thing is, you can, like, play the Ugly Bastard Helmet and the Mantle of Mountain Fury the other way around, right? It just makes both of them, like, weaker, right? You can get more core skill ranks here, even though we got 5. It's all looking pretty solid. I mean, Barbarian seems strong without being, like, you know, super nasty. How would a Belial look right now? And how would an Infernal Horde look right now? Okay, we're going into Torment 4. What are our Ressis saying? Yeah. So, as a Barb, we have to play the good old instances. Kind of comes back to instances every single time, and you have to play Rahir, obviously, to give you here elemental resistance, right? Because if we don't have Rahir, look at this now. I'm almost maxed out on Ressis. That's pretty good. Almost maxed out, but not completely. Oy, oy, oy. By the way, Too Slow Bum, thank you for the 31. Thank you for the brand new subscription. Appreciate it over in the Twitch. Howdy, partner. Are we liking Hammer of Ancients right now? I guess the worst part is the slow movement speed, right? Put like few skill points different to at least get 12% more movement speed. Like here, ignore the maximum life, the 15% more maximum life, and just get more movement speed. You can zoom a bit harder. Or the biggest difference that we currently have, often our boot speed, not something movement speed related. Okay. Oh! By the way, that Belial is getting that shield, that's new, right? I'm not tripping. But they're now introducing like the shield on Belial to make him tankier. Like I'm not the only one that sees this, correct? I'm not going crazy. I'm not imagining things, but clearly to me, he's building up like a shield every X damage, so that the people that are one-hitting him or hardcore bursting him or hardcore bursting him a bit slower. Okay, how does an Infernal Horde play? We're gonna take the Colossal Fiends, but that one is actually bugged, sadly. Should replace the immunity. Belial never had immunity faces. So they're like, hey, how can we make, like, you know, how can we solve a problem that's actually not a problem? Oh yeah, let's introduce a random shield. Yeah, this is what's more important to me. So in this season, we're going to be playing a lot of Infernal Hordes, right? And you want Infernal Hordes to just feel good when you're playing them. So if I'm now playing like my good old Barb here, and I just go around with my Hammer of Ancients, right? The last thing I want is to not just absolutely smash and dash things. Okay, that's working. That's making me happy. And with our ultimate, we can also pull people together, so that's very useful. Good. I like to see it. Etheric Spat, Master Spawn, Etheric Masters on death. Saphira, good to see you there. Also, Punter, thank you for raiding you and your friends over. I remember him having a shield. Yeah, it's like one of these sneaky changes. They just get in there to make you hate life. But I wish these shields that Belial has, that would be on the other bosses also instead of the immunity faces. That'd be probably one of the bigger changes in the game. That would make the game instantly more playable. Without the pain of having like to go through weird shit just because developers had like a quick idea, right? By the way, it's funny that they brought out this PTR for us to test like the Infernal Hordes, right? And half of the Infernal Hordes thingies are not working. Like, I gotta call Blizzard out for this. They're like, okay, so we got the Infernal Hordes reworked, and this is like the PTR. And like, by the way, so half of the boons and banes that you're getting, they're not working. Oh, they did remove Duriel's face, did they? Well, we can go to it. Sorry, I missed it. I've actually not been to Duriel and Dariel and all the lads because I just didn't see a reason to go. So you're saying if we're doing enough damage, we can just blast a doodle dandy and eat them. Well, let's see that. Okay, so we figured out this build is actually working very plenty fine also on Infernal Hordes. So I'm happy with Barbarian. I know what I'm already aiming for direction-wise. I mean, I do want a bleed build over a Hammer of Ancient builds, but I at least wanted to see if Barbarian is going to live up to the hype, right? Can Barbarian also profit from Chaotic Armor? It can. It allows me to play Hammer of the Ancient smashing again, so that's cool, and I'm very happy about it. My main happiness definitely comes from just being able to play Banished Lords and Crown of Lucian together. Because that has always been my favorite combination, right? Banished Lords, Crown of Lucian, that's just unabashed, like the number one thing I love to play. No matter which class, by the way. So if you can still one-shot Duriel, or again one-shot Duriel, that's a good change that they didn't actually mention in the patch notes. Lilith too, okay. I mean, you can't one-shot Lilith because you gotta go in multiple phases through her anyways, right? How's the stream going? Pretty good. I've been having some fun figuring out things. And in order to obviously kill these bosses fast enough, you gotta do, there, I saw the shield. Okay, double shield. Okay, yeah. That's good. That's a fantastic change. I mean, if I do insane damage, I'm allowed to kill him. If I don't do insane damage, I'm punished and I take a bit longer. What about Andario? Yeah, but like, W, but see, the thing is, they found a way to get away with the immunity, to remove the immunity phases, but the shield actually makes sense, right? Because the shield is something I can overcome with better build. The immunity phase I can't overcome. Does that make sense to you? Right? Like, if I do more damage, I can overcome the immunity, the shield, which I should be able to because I'm a powerful character. But if I don't do enough damage, then not. So I believe it looks like a good compromise to me. See, I was too slow now, and I'm gonna have to... No, I wasn't too slow. Ah, almost too slow. You can watch a little phase, yeah, but you still have to go through the phases, Chris Kennedy, right? You still have to finish phase 1, and then you still have to finish phase 2. So she's gonna, like, cut off parts of the board and so on. That doesn't change. Good change. Didn't know. Okay, this was Barbarian, chat. What we still want to try with Barbarian is the 200 sword expertise, because 200 sword expertise now says that you deal 30% increased bleeding damage, but without a... Come on, brain, say it. There's no condition bound to it, right? So 200 expertise was 10% increased strike damage against vulnerable enemies and increased vulnerable damage to vulnerable enemies, right? Polearm was lucky hit chance, increased damage to health enemies. And this used to say bleeding damage if the enemy, like if you killed someone recently, which was shit. And now with the new Rupture aspect, so you do more bleed damage, and Rupture says, double Rupture skewer radius and bleed durations are increased by 60%. This means that your Rupture now has a bigger skewer radius, that doesn't matter, but that generally all bleed durations are increased. So you're going to have like a ton of like this alone is like over 5 seconds and then over 10 seconds, right? And if you increase it to 220, it's over 15 seconds. And that's going to be interesting to have like massive long bleeds. How do I go about getting a decent amount of Betrayer's Husk without endlessly farming? Well, so the way how you get Betrayer's Husk is you ask in the trade chat for Betrayer's Husk, and then like a person will whisper you, and his name is going to be 123 ABC AFDF AFDF AFDF, so a very legit name. And then he's going to say, hey, bruv, I got 99 Betrayer Husks for you. How many stacks do you want? And you say 20 stacks, and he says like, 500 million per stack, and then you're going to buy them. That's usually how it goes. Okay. So what we wanted to do is I wanted to do Ball of Lightning Sorg, and we have two versions of Ball of Lightning Sorg. One can play the Strike of the Stormhorn, where you do Super Ball of Lightning, and the other one does you can cast Ball of Lightning while you're running with Oaken's Catalyst. So we're going to try out the Oaken's Catalyst version first, and then we're going to do the Super Ball of Lightning Sorg. I never actually get to play Ball of Lightning, so I have been missing out, sadly, on the whole Ball of Lightning hype, and it just went completely past me. You can imagine that makes me sad, because I actually wanted to experience how Ball of Lightning does feel. So, step number one is, we need a Ball of Lightning now. Okay, Ball of Lightning with Strike of Stormhorn. How does Oaken's Catalyst look? That's Oaken's Catalyst. 4 ranks to Ball of Lightning. Because Ball of Lightning says Ball of Lightning can be cast while moving, and also casting Ball of Lightning instead creates a separate static field around you that damages all enemies within for 250% of Ball of Lightning's damage per active ball. Okay? And you're unhindered as long as the field is active. That means you can just keep running around, casting Ball of Lightning as you're running around. Be like, pew pew pew, Ball of Lightning, pew 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 pew, blah 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 blah, pew 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 pew. Yeah. So yeah, that's Ball of Lightning, right? And it sadly was never scaling enough, and you could easily die. So we're hoping that to be better now. We get the new ring. That's the Galvanic Azurite. And here you want to have the elemental synergies actually as a greater affix, because elemental synergies is actually crazy. So we at least want to masterwork that. Thank you very much. At least one time. We're not looking for perfect masterworks, okay? The rest of the stuff goes to hell. Then we need our standard uniques. Thank you very much. Air of Perdition with core skills would be great. Ring of Starless Skies with core skills would be great. And Shroud of False Death. Obviously, these are things you're not going to have day one, right? When you're playing the build, you will have to make use with substitutes. That's what we're also going to make. Like, if we make these builds on the live server, right, you're always going to get the builds with the substitutes. You know what the very interesting thing is? You can actually play the Shroud of the False Death nowadays. And you know what you can play on top of the Shroud of the False Death? Chat? You can play it together with the Raiment of the Infinite. Raiment of the Infinite is also a chess piece that you could obviously never play because it's also a chess piece. But since we're now looking at playing chaotic uniques, you just pick up these chaotic uniques, right? And then your Raiment of the Infinite, which gives you ranks into Glass Cannon, is suddenly a boot. So that means we're getting the cool chess piece together with the other cool chess piece. Whee! Isn't that great? You get the best of both worlds. Good. Then we're going to get another chaotic unique, because now it's chaotic unique time. Okay, Chad? We need our gloves and we need our legs. For gloves, we're going to take Asadoras. That would be usually my amulet, but we don't want it as an amulet. So we get the... Where are you, Flicker Stab? Crown, actual, banish... Oh, let's... Oh, crown, actual, banish, blue rules. Asadoras. That one works with Crackling Energy to overstack. Okay? That's going to go as our amulet right now. But to also give us a percentage of intelligence bonus. Because they obviously work with Crackling Energy and we're going to be running around, so that's going to be good. Are they releasing the new expansion in Season 11? No. No. Can you get a Chaos Mythic? No, sadly, Chaos Mythics don't exist. That would be too crazy and too much of a chase, if that makes sense. Chaos Uniques are easy to get, but imagine there would be Chaos Mythics. How much people would be scrambling to get them. The basic idea is that due to Chaos Uniques, you don't have to have the Uniques in the slot where they're used anymore so that you can actually use the Mythics, right? If I can get the ring away, if I can get the helmet away, then I can actually use Air of Perdition together with the other stuff. It's usually either or. Now it's both. Boom. Right? Good. Thank you, Granddad, for the 22 months of support. That's very kind of you. Happy you choose to stay with us longer. And now we also have to get legs. Legs. Where's my legs? There are my legs. And I wonder if this one is something that they need to look into. Okay? Because there's an item and it's called Lochran's Talisman. Okay, chat? So what Lochran says is your skill gains 0.48 critical strike chance per point of primary resource you have when cast. Okay? Each point of primary resource above 1000 grants skilled 0.2% critical strike damage, instead up to 500 resource. Okay? So that is each resource point above 100 up to 500. That's a lot of bonus damage. So it's 400 times 0.2. What's 400 times 0.2, Chad? It's another 80%. Now, one thing you don't know is, because you don't know, if I use Mana Shield. So right now I have 130 mana, right? But now use Mana Shield. I have 5,000 mana. Right? Yeah, I'm like a little bit over. And my core skills get increased mana cost, which we don't care. And my core skills also deal more damage, but reduce my mana, which I also don't care about. So, yeah. Yay. How do you have 2 boots on your character? These are my gloves. They just look like boots. It's placeholder art. Blizzard made a little oopsie doopsie there. Little wingo bingo. Wonder if it would be better to run like Oaken's Catalyst on a different thingy. What if I put Oaken's over to be my chest piece, for example? Oh, I don't know if Oaken's is actually under the potential chaotic uniques. That's a good question. Ooh, Topaz. So we're going to put these 2 Topazes on. That's another 100 intelligence bonus. What do you think is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, if you get another 100 intelligence bonus? You guessed right. We are instantly going to get more mana. So we're sitting at 6,000 mana. Yee. Good. This is without Paragon board, by the way. Okay, our weapon needs to have a conceited aspect, I guess. There's not many ball of lightning aspects, actually, which surprises me. And we want to have a ball of lightning projectiles to cast twice. And then we preferably want to masterwork that one also until it breaks. Wow, 14%. It's not even really worth it to masterwork that, right? Because what is it going to do? Surely there's not much to get out. See, like, even if I hit this with a masterwork 3 times in a row, what's going to happen? Not much, right? What other aspect are you going to run, though, on your amulet? Let's see, what can we do? Is there anything? Ball of lightning? Ball? There's a gravitational aspect. After creating 2 ball of lightning, your next ball of lightning implodes, pulling in surrounding enemies before dealing lightning damage in a small area. This damage scales with ball of lightning. It seems so bad. But is it so bad? Would that do anything? Do you want your ball of lightnings to even explode? Seems so weird. I'll have to play around with that. Okay, we gotta get unstable currents cooldown. You have a pull at least? Yeah, but I'm not too hot on it. Let's see how that plays first. I'm just generally not sure what to expect from the build, if that makes sense. Right? I'm not sure how powerful this will turn out. I'm not sure how good this will be. What we need is we need Thole. So we get a free Frost Nova. Just never bad to have that. And then you can have Sir. I don't have Sir. Vex. Vex is for skill ranks. Rune of Ritual. Sir is Sir. Thank you. Okay. Now we don't have a single skill point spent. Potato, PoE is going to be beautiful, sir. We're all very much looking forward to it. Okay, we're gonna have to put ranks into Charge Bolt, and we also have to put ranks into Chain Lightning, because these ranks are gonna be important for the crackling energy shebang bang. Okay. Heard right. Crackling energy shebang bang chan. Actually, the ranks into that are useful as well. Go for this. Get that. This ranks into the ball of lightning. Gonna have no frost skill. We're gonna freeze things. We have the elemental synergies. Cooldowns. We get the currents. Crackling energy. I dumped some more point too much in because we're missing a point. Apparently, I went a bit too happy dumping points into things. Let's put one out of here now. And we're gonna play the overflowing. Okay. How does this feel right now? Let's go over before we fill out the Paragon board. This is not the damage test. This is just how it feels. What's your opinion about the gloves that mage your fireballs bounce around and explode? I think it's OP, but there's a smarter one here. I'm definitely not the smarter one here, sir. I just seem like that. The bouncing fireballs did work last season. I think there was just scaling issues. So I don't know. The reason why often things are not played is because you simply can't scale them up to billions. And end of the day, billions is what you need, right? Okay. We need Ball of Lightning is our main skill. Then we need Unstable Currents. We're not casting Familiars. Familiars are going to be... coming. We get Lightning Spear. To consume more Lightning Spears. And we're going to make more Ball of Lightnings. Okay. Then we have the Charge Bolt in, because we need the Charge Bolt in. We have the Chain Lightning in. These are just in to have like more core skill ranks, if that makes sense. We get the Teleport. Yep. And last but not least, where do we have the most ranks in? The Lightning Spear itself. Yeah. Good. It's all important for Asadorus. So if I can cast this while moving. Yeah, I like what I see here. I can keep up full 20 lightning bolts. But let's see what the actual damage is like when we put now the Paragon points in, okay? So if this is how it plays, I'm pleased. I just gotta find a way how to automatically cast the I just gotta like find a way how to automatically cast these explosions, because I don't wanna like cast them the whole time, because that's the problem. I gotta spam the lightning ball cast, right, to get the most out of it. That can be annoying. So we're playing Charge. Charge gives us more crackling energy damage, and prickling up crackling energy also gives us more damage. So that's just easy good, right? But then we play Ceaseless Conduit, because Ceaseless Conduit, while you have crackling energy, you deal increased damage. The amount increased by 2% per 20 intelligence. You have up to 60% more damage. So that's amazing too. These are like two just absolute no-brainers to get. Then we're going to get Destruction, because you have seen that we only do critical damage. And Destruction gives us critical damage bonus. And if we then do critical damage, we get more critical damage, and then critical damage and critical damage. No-brainer as well. More critical damage. We could get the damage reduction, but we probably don't even need it. Crackling. That brings us into the Frigid Fate board. Frigid Fate does more damage to vulnerable damage bonus. So easy Frigid Fate. We're going to play Eliminator in there. That'd be for all our intelligence shaboink. Right, you get Eliminator. We're boosting the normal nodes. We can also get damage reduction from vulnerable enemies. While we get the Frigid Fate together with the non-physical damage bonus. As we go out, we scoop and poop up all of these. Okay, that brings us into the Enchantment Master. To make our Ball of Lightning enchantment Ball of Lightning harder. We're going to be playing Unlash over there. You insta level gems to legendary on PTR. I mean, you level everything up to max on PTR. You just go to the PTR vendor and you're going to say, hey, I want the full boost. And he's like, bruv, I got you covered. And then he just holds his hand up and suddenly you're cool. Doesn't work like that in real life. I'm sorry. Gotta stay filthy nerds. Can't be cool instantly. But Mrak got you covered. Just lift a finger and make you awesome. Good. Last board. Static Surge, ladies and gentlemen. Because Static Surge hitting enemies with at least 8 times in second with shock skills restores mana and increases your damage by 50. We don't need the mana restoration, but it kind of makes us undying because with the mana restoration and the unlimited mana we're having, yeah. I mean, what's going to happen? Who's going to do anything to you? Okay, that's it. We get them all covered. Let's just jump into a pit. Hey Liz, good to see you there. I hope you arrived safely home. Do you have a short skill on your skill bar? No, because we're not playing the thingy here. So we have one single point in. I mean, sure, I could move one in. The thing is that I need the lightning ranks. So we're playing Asadoras, okay? Crackling Energy gains 10% damage for every shock skill rank you have. 15, 15, 30, 35, 40, 45, plus another 21. So we're talking about 66 ranks times 10. So Crackling Energy gets 660% more damage. No issue with the Deutsche Bahn. Well, my first travel with the Deutsche Bahn back from Gamescom on Wednesday, the first train was delayed by 30 minutes. Then it was delayed by 40 minutes because of a medical emergency. Then it was delayed again, and then it was canceled. And I had to depart and go for a different train. So, yay. Seems solid so far. By the way, like, why do I have to spam Ball of Lightning sword, chat? Because I made my Ball of Lightnings explode, but they're pulling in enemies, so it's kind of funny. Right? So, like, you notice how everything is being pulled with me? That's why I have to spam Ball of Lightning, right? Because every cast of Ball of Lightning pulls at this point. I'm kind of fine with that. I mean, I'm pretty much holding down my left mouse button, spam my right mouse button, and we're good to go. If I wanted this a bit more relaxed, I would not put the aspect on the amulet. Okay? Because I would just have to spam a bit less. I'll show you in a second what I mean. So you understand why is this happening? What's actually going on? What's like breaking the thing? I do believe we can change something here to make this more convenient. I probably missed an enemy here, right? And just quickly go back to Eradicate. Probably could have also just killed the other guys in the other room. Thank you very much. The movement is so much better than Barb. Well, but that's like Sork for you in a nutshell, right? So, what are we doing? We have the amulet. It says, after creating one ball of lightning, your next ball of lightning explodes, pulling in enemies. Now, if we put on our thinking caps, because we're smart lads and ladies in here, right? Last God, can you make a video about this? Last God, we just put the build together, like, in the last 30 minutes, so you can pretty much scoop back. But yes, this will get a video in itself. So we could put the gravitational aspect, for example, on our weapon instead, right? Should be, is it possible? No, you can't put gravitational on the weapon. That's actually sad. For this, I'd have to pull things away. So we could decide to not play the gravitational aspect, but how would that feel? Like if I don't have the pull of the gravitational, because that was like, I just need something that does damage. Okay, I just want an offensive aspect that does damage. Yeah, so crackling energy just does more damage. Cool, congratulations. I just would like to know how it feels if I do something else. If I don't have the pull, does it still do good? The difference is now that I build up the ball of lightnings and that's it, right? Then I don't have to spam them again. As soon as I have like the ball of lightnings build up, I just have to like spam enough to kind of maintain them. But I'm not pulling anything together. And we're missing the DPS, obviously, of the ball of lightnings themselves exploding. End of the day, I have to spam them anyways, so I might as well just play that gravitational aspect to waltz through and keep pulling things. Because if I keep pulling things, I can keep walking and I keep just dragging them behind me and get them somewhere. By the way, the other charged build was actually stronger, just so you know, right? This one does work, but the charged bull build was stronger. Still, I really think like let me see how. Because now comes the intriguing question. This might be slightly weaker. No Merc? I don't need a Merc. Not for this build. This might be slightly weaker than the Charge Bolt build, right? But my question would be... Because the Charge Bolt build is powerful, but it lacks a tad utility. Tad, not much, just a tad. If we're playing the gravitational pull aspect, okay, and we're playing the Infernal Horde compasses. So, how would this feel in an Infernal Horde? Did you play the Charge Bolt build? Yes, I have the Charge Bolt build, or I have a Charge Bolt build below, right? I don't know if it's the Charge Bolt build, but I have a Charge Bolt build. Okay, the best thing about this build is, currently, I just don't have to use other skills than Ball of Lightning and Teleport. We're getting this on, we get the gravitational aspect, right? But everything should just die on contact anyways. Yeah. It's like the reason this feels better than the charged bolt builds. In order to cast charged bolts, you get a stutter step, right? Currently, I just cast a ball of lightning while moving, right? Do you want to see the other ball of lightning build as well, Chad? So there are two ball of lightning builds. There is one with this, right? And there's another one. And the other ball of lightning build would actually be about overpowered ball of lightnings. What about chain lightning? What about chain lightning? Like, what do you mean? A chain lightning build? Would that work? It would probably work, but I'm not sure if you can scale it high enough damage-wise. Because again, where you're looking to, like, you got to do billions, right? To really properly, like, be alive. I'm not sure if you're doing those billions. Where can I see the charge bolt build? The YouTube video that was uploaded 2 days ago. I can show you the charge bolt build if you just want from a different, so you understand why this one is so much fun to play. Because right now, I'm holding down my left mouse button, right? And I just spam my right mouse button. So I can play this like AFK. I don't even have to look at the screen. While I can still teleport around, while I can still do my lightning spear if I want to, right? If I want to try hard a bit, I can actually cast the lightning spears myself. I don't have to wait for things. I could just handishly do that if I want to. But you already have like tons of lightning spears going around. I mean, you could actually play like, see, I got 10 conjurations. Like if I wanted to, I could probably pull points out to just do conjurations masteries for more movement speed to walk even faster, right? Interesting. Let me show you the charge bolt build so you get a feeling for it. Let's get some druid builds. We have the druid builds yesterday. So stream yesterday was all about druid builds. We have 3 for you. There is actually 4 to 5. There's probably 6, but the druid is already covered. Whole stream has been had. This is the crackling charge bolt. Charge bolt strong, but different is. Are they all for companions? No, 1 companion build, pulverize, then boulder. There's also flash render build. There's gonna be probably a earth spike again. You can see like we got the things in again, but the difference is I'm casting charge bolt. Okay, and now the problem with charge bolt is that I actually need to like stand still to cast said charge bolt. Right, so I walk up to things, I just stand AFK here on the ground, don't move, and then I just blast out the charge bolts and they're going out. And that's where I like the ball of lightning, because the ball of lightning can just run around. I can obviously now also run around and pull everyone together and have them be like, you know, like have them be together and then hurt these guys. And the charge bolts are obviously like they're automatically searching out opponents. So the further I'm actually standing away from opponents, the more damage I deal, because the short charge bolts, if they exist for longer, they do more damage and they pierce enemies and then they come back. So that's kind of like the thing. But I like the ball of lightning more, as I could just actively move around, right? I could be zooting. That looked more fun to me. Like if I'm going through the pit, instead of like staying at packs of mobs, I just run and pull them with me and pull them all together and then destroy them. Didn't they kill the boulder build? No, they made boulder stronger than ever, sir. Why would they kill the boulder build? Made it more powerful. I even want to introduce Crown of Lucian to the boulder build to make it even more powerful. So yeah, I think like you understand where the ball of lightning is actually more fun. I mean, charge bolt is obviously cool because it's charge bolt and it's new and hot and so on, but ball of lightning? But yeah, there's multiple lightning builds. I mean, it's all about crackling energy though, because the crackling energy is like crazy with Asadoras. So that's something you want to have. Okay, let's go out and try to do the other ball of lightning build. Okay, because the other ball of lightning build is vastly different. And again, it plays my favorite combo, the Banished Lord's Talisman, together with the Crown of Lucian. So let's go out. Top 3 classes you would run right now. I mean, you're still in Season 9, sir. So in Season 9, you can run any class. But the best are Druid, Necro, and... well, technically Spiritborn, but Sork is more convenient to play and have fun with. This is Sork and Balds 2. Balds 2. Oh, 2. This build you can't do right now, Fenrir. This build in the current version of the game will not feel too hot. Okay, we got the sword. So I will need The usual. Ladies and gentlemen. Care of Perdition, Shroud of False Death, and Ring of Starless Skies. Then we'll need the class uniques for the Galvanic Ring. Galvanic Ring. And we need the Strike of the Stormhorn. Preferable with ranks to Ball of Lightning. So this one is different now, okay? This says chance for Ball of Lightning projectiles to cast twice and converted to chance to cast Super Ball of Lightning. Ball of Lightning splashes on impact, dealing 300% of its total damage instantly. It stuns enemies for 1 second if it reaches its maximum stage. Super Ball of Lightnings are larger, deal 125% increased damage, have their higher lucky hit chance, and their stun duration is increased to 3 seconds. Yeah! There is so much pain inside my body right now. I'm sorry. That one tore me apart almost. So the goal is, obviously in this, to get the chance to cast Ball of Lightning twice, but to have this as high as possible, that you would always cast a Super Ball of Lightning, okay? And that's why we're also then want to have as our boots the Banished Lord's Talisman. Because if the boots are the Banished Lord's Talisman, and if my legs are the Crown of Lucian, okay, then with enough resource put in, which would be relatively simple as Mana Shield is giving us all the resource in the world, right? Crown of Lucian. Yep. I can then make my Ball of Lightnings always overpower. Right? Oh, more or less always overpower on every X cast, so I'm just getting like them to go crazy. Not sure if we actually want to play the Ring of Starless Skies, because the Ring of Starless Skies and the Crown of Lucians, they're kind of like a little bit like counteracting each other. But what's the standard cast cost of Ball of Lightning? It's 47. Yeah, technically you don't want to have the Ring of Starless Skies, but it gives you also core skill ranks and the 50%. It's hard. Do you have a leveling build or druid build for Season 10 without Chaos Armor? Season 10 is not out yet, Florian. Season 10 is still a month away. And then as Season 10 comes, you will definitely get from me starter builds that also work from the very beginning on. Okay? No problem. I want better gloves that are not those gloves. I mean, seriously, what are those gloves? Just admit you're only playing this for us. You hate it, Dom. Why would I? Hated. Dom, I've played years and years of one game only without looking left or right. If I play something nowadays, I only play it because I want to play it. And there's no other reason why I'm playing something. I am too aged as a creator to force myself to play something for your benefit. And not my own benefit, aka having fun. I'm gonna try to get core skills, chat, okay? We all know that I'm probably gonna have to put like 400 billion gold in here before I see core skills. This is still probably my biggest point of me, that we can only choose from 2 results and not 3 results. Because if you could choose from 3 results, getting what you want is way faster, or not only way faster, is actually going to happen, right? Because I have infinite money currently, right? I have infinite money. But that doesn't mean that I will actually ever see the bonus ranks to core skills. No matter how often I press this button. I mean, statistically, at some point I might find it, but statistics can eat my ass, right? Because the weighting, the hidden weighting that Blizzard still says doesn't exist. There was +1, by the way, not +2. Yeah. Sadness. Okay, maximum life it is. Which is completely useless because maximum life does nothing for this character, right? Hello from Germany. Hello from Germany. Back to you, sir. Greetings from Germany to Germany. The German greetings. The international heavyweight back and forth. Okay, I need overpower once in a while. What did they show the creators at the Blizzard base? The expansion. Okay, so in case you don't know this, but last year I was invited to Blizzard, right? And I was at the Blizzard HQ last year, and we got to see Vessel of Hatred early. Good. So my assumption is I have not been there, right? Chat, don't get me wrong. I have not been there. I have not been to Blizzard. So I would assume that this year they showed them the Paladin and the expansion. That's like, you know, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Creators were invited last year to say something about the expansion. So maybe they invited creators this year again to give feedback on the expansion. But he's optimistic and says good stuff is coming. I mean, Voodie is like me. He gets excited by simple things. So yes, there is. If Voodie says good stuff is coming, then probably good stuff is coming. I mean, if they invited Rax and Trax, you would hear now that I have lost all faith in the game already. I'm so sad. But yeah. I guess that would have not been helpful. Aren't we all secretly looking forward to the next PoE patch? Well, the thing is, as much as I'm looking forward to the next PoE 2 patch, right? At some point, I will have done everything in that patch too. Correct? And then I want to play good Diablo 4 again. And then I'm waiting for the next PoE 2 patch, right? So yes, we're all looking forward to the PoE 2 patch, to then look forward to the Diablo patch, to then look forward to the PoE 2 patch, to then look forward to the Diablo patch, to then look forward... You get my drift, right? I mean, the standard things you do as a player of the action RPGs. You're looking forward to the one thing, to then look forward to the other thing, to look forward to the one thing, to look forward to the other thing, to look forward to the one thing, to look forward to the other thing. Right? Surely, that's how we're all going. I reckon next November for the expansion. No, the expansion is going to be season 12 or 13, so it's either April or it's around Gamescom. Yep. Yeah. And when we get in October the new expansion coming. That means we got October, November, December. That means in January we would have to have season 11, and then it's going to be January, February, March, maybe April, right? So either we're gonna get the expansion. Yeah, actually, we could get the expansion at the 2-year anniversary, maybe a 3-year anniversary, or earlier, right? 12 or 13. They can't stretch it longer, so like people are gonna be very unhappy if they have to wait just much longer. Thank you, Volderfield, for your 90 months of support with Yoshi and his 95 months. Scorpion with a 9. Granddad with a 22. Appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put on the aspect of destruction, which gives us deal 50% increased damage while you have no defensive skill on your action bars. And I will not have any defensive skill on my action bar, right? We're going to play Ice Blades, and we're going to be having the Conceited Aspect, probably. We might not have any Barium, so we'll actually have to play Intercom for a while. Sorg is actually like really sad aspects in general. Okay, we need to get the chance for Ball of Lightning to cast twice. Thank you. Wow, heist roll, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to have to try to masterwork it, because the more chance I have to cast twice, the bigger Ball of Lightning, Super Ball of Lightning chance I get, right? Because that's it. Like, it says that the chance to cast twice is converted into Super Ball of Lightning. So I want Super Ball of Lightning.
Win favor, my friend.
The pit needs to be deleted from the game. No, the pits are fine. They're an elusive chase for people to have fun with. And that's also why Pit 150 is there in Sir. Also, people have cleared Pit 138 last season, so it's actually getting closer to it. 6. Thank you for the Prime Gaming subscription, 6. Very good to see you there, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Okay, skill tree. Let's spend some skill tree points, guys. We're going to 1-2. Since we don't play Asadoras, we have the advantage of not having to put so many points into lightning spells, because usually we would waste all our points into lightning spells, as that would help us with our damage. But we're not needing that because we don't play Asadoras. Ergo, we can focus more on the other stuff. We have very few ranks in Ball of Lightning this time, which is actually sad. Cross skill in the bar. Synergies. Cooldowns. Unstable currents. One left over. So what we need in the skill bar is we need to have Ball of Lightning. We need to have Teleport. Then we're going to have the Ball of Lightning on the right side for the spam. We're going to have the Unstable Currents on number 5. We actually have Familiar to spam Familiar. Actually, we have Unstable Current on 4. We have Familiar to spam Familiar. No, Unstable Currents on 2, sorry. We need Teleport on 5. Then we got Familiar, and we got Shredding Blades. And Lightning Spear. Yeah. Anything in the rings is useless because we're not getting any bonus from that. We probably go for inner. But like, sure, like if you wanted to, you can here go for the mobility for the evade cooldown reduction, that you are actually able to evade more. But I'll probably just go for our good old Unstable Current cooldown reduction, even though we might not need it. Yes, as I said, Unstable Current cooldown reduction. Playing the PTR, yes. Move that one up. But everyone thinks the way pit is the chase for ultras. Me, I'm just an old fart who just enjoys it. Exactly. You don't have to chase the pit. Like, no one forces you to chase the pit. The pit is a tool to give you as many levels as possible in your glyphs as you want to. And then you actually enjoy the other parts of the game where you're just blasting things into smithereens, right? Okay, we're going for Nagu. Thank you very much. And we'll get for the Warcry. We're also going to get another Vex for the ranks. And then we're going to have to get Sir Rune Ritual. Sir. Then we obviously need to play Mana Shield. We're going to play Mana Infused Conjurations. We got Advanced Techniques. And it should also be Power Siphon. Good. I assume that should lead... Oh, no. I have the Paragon board. We need to do Paragon board, but first let's throw my Ball of Lightnings at a statue so I can see how that works. I don't do non-season class builds, sir. I don't play non-season. You have to adapt yourself to make non-season class build works. I don't mess with that in any capacity. Mr. Bockwurst, cheering into the noon in Germany. Cheering into the noon in Germany back to you. Damien also, thank you for the Prime subscription. Pon, thank you for the rate with the 23 friends. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got 6,000 mana so far. We can spam Ball of Lightning to have it explode, right? So this is already almost 1 billion damage without actually having... Like, I do 1 billion damage without having done my Paragon boards, okay? Ball of Lightning costs 200 mana. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're making Ball of Lightning cost 200 mana right now. That means that every second Ball of Lightning cast is a overpower. Okay? Beautiful. Good. So that's working so far. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to go into the Paragon board. I mean, this is different from the Ball of Lightning zooming build. It should probably do more damage in the long run. But, wait. Let's not take maximum life more because that's useless. Gotta see how that plays. Activated. Chris, I know. Or I noticed. Shaman Master. Better for the way how the build is running. Oh, we need Elementalist. We do all sorts of the elemental damages, so that kind of works nicely. Want the attack speed because more attack speed is faster. Get the ceaseless conduit so we can do more damage with our skills if we have crackling energy, and we always have crackling energy. Ceaseless conduit is such a standard board to play. You can't say no to. Destruction. Into the Frigid Fate board another time. Boink. Are there one-button builds? Yes, I mean, the Pulverize is a one-button build, the Boulder is a one-button build, the... Yeah, Brain. Just react whenever you're ready. The Ball of Lightning build, the one we played before this, is also one button build. So that's kind of like cool. Play Adept to get mastery skills have 30% increased area. Okay. Kind of nasty. Then we'll go for the Static Surge, last but not least. Very much. There is tons of potential one-button builds. But also, you should at least ask for a two-button build, because I find, like, one-button builds always so tasteless. That being said, whenever I make a build in Path of Exile, people are telling me that I'm using too many buttons, aka more than one, and I'm doing it wrong. So, I don't know, make out of that what you want. Right? When you're objectively doing it wrong because you're, let me check my notes, using two buttons. How dare I, right? How dare I go for any kind of combination build? That's a terrible look. Let's see what that PID 90 Ball of Lightning Explosion build can do. And then you get to tell me which one you find more interesting. Okay, where's the dude? Just only look at the overpowers. So I gotta pretty much put my resources out. And just hold my button down. Where's the damage reducing guy? And this one I definitely can't play with damage numbers on, or are you just going to go blind? I saw 128 billion, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta turn like only overpowers on. Let me quickly. Yeah, there's hundreds of billions of damage. Okay, that's kind of cool. No, the crazy part about this build is you are see 200 billion. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Which just costs to play the PTR. You just need to have Battle.net installed, and then you download the PTR. I don't know if you do actually have to own Diablo on Battle.net to get into the PTR, or if you can just download it and play. Probably have to own it too. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. I like it. Overpowered Ball of Lightning, ladies and gentlemen. The goal is to shoot those super Ball of Lightnings at your enemy, and then just have them, as you can see, overpower and go bonkers. And the crazy part is that every second one is overpowered. Like, you have a 200, like, your cost goes up to 200, ladies and gentlemen. That's funny. Considering that my amulet aspect is also not working. I wonder if I should play a different enchantment, because I don't need the teleport enchantment at all. I could probably also just replace teleport with something else in my skill bar and keep the teleport enchantment, I guess. Right? More than one viable build for Sork. Hydra is still working for Sork, in case you missed that. We're simply just not playing Hydra right now because we wanted to play something different and try it out. But Hydra is very much still working. Then you get a couple of different, you get a Ball of Lightning build, you get a Charged Bolt build. They have the same premise to a degree, but they're still different. Then you get yourself the Meteor build that will just not scale high enough, but it can do Torment 4. You can play Blizzard. Blizzard get buffed as well. Blizzard could do Torment 4 before as well. is quite funny. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. If I could put 3 or 4 skills onto one button and just hold it down and it would activate. Well, I mean, that would be cheating, my friend. I mean, if you're not able to press multiple buttons yourself, then like having, you know, a mocker do that for you is kind of like not the solution, sir. It's not Blizzard's fault for holding you back. We could remove the teleport. To get that 50% damage multiplier. Yep. So which one do you like more? That was the Ball of Lightning Overpower build? Anything good this season? Yep, 3 insane druid builds. There is Necromancer. We got Spiritborn being boring. We have Rogue kind of neutered a bit again. Barbarian had a fun Hammer of Ancients build that we made. There's like a couple of good fancy builds to play. It might be the first season that I don't actually start with the Necro, because I usually always start with Necro. It might really be that I don't. And this is the other Ball of Lightning build where you can just, you know, pull the whole server with you. Me personally, I like the other one where I don't have to think and just walk around and things die and you don't have to aim. Yeah, I can feel you about that one. If I could introduce like overpower into that one somehow, I think it would be good, but I don't think I can actually make that work. To get overpower involved here. The overpower one definitely does do more damage though. So that's a credit to the overpower one. But I gotta say that I also like for Infernal Hordes, I'll definitely prefer this one simply due to the nature of like at some point you gotta understand that more damage is not helpful. If everything already dies to 1 billion damage, then doing 20 billion damage or 100 billion damage is not helping you, right? So if you have a build that's just faster able to maneuver the Infernal Hordes by nature of being just a more agile build, then that build will be better for that piece of content, respectively. The Necro King, no sir, I do builds for everything. I've been the Necro King for a while, but we have been branching out for a while as well and delivering high quality build for everything. That is achievable. I think I'm breaking the server. That lag is maybe too many Ball of Lightning calculations. Come with me. Come with me now. Getting things to move with you. Thank you very much. Necro's just sadly relatively unexciting this season. I mean, you have a couple of builds that will perform well, but none of these builds are spectacular. I mean, you have the same Shadowblight build that we played last season, go crazy this season again. We got minions doing the same thing that minions have always done, but nothing changed about minions because Blizzard is inapt to actually do anything minion related, apart from for Druid, it seems. You got a new, different kind of Bloodwave build. Yay. There's nothing fundamentally really mind-shattering about the Necro. I mean, they introduced a new unique that works with basic skills, and that's useless. So they made something that's fundamentally useless. I mean, Druid, for example, got the Kill of Blackwing, and Kill of Blackwing says, hey, congratulations, sir. You're now able to have your Ravens go bonkers. And Druid got your basic skills are empowered. Wow. Let me check my notes how many Necromancer basic skill builds we have had in the history of Necromancer in the over 2 years of Diablo 4's lifetime. 0. Good. Good that we talked about that, chat. Good that we talked about the 0 Necromancer builds that we have had so far. I am very glad, and I'm pleased to tell you that what the fuck is wrong with you? Blizzard. What made you think that we are in need of a basic build? Like, sometimes you gotta just question the sanity there, because I generally don't know, like, who sat down at Blizzard and then made a basic skill build that performs, because, like, you would assume that the way how you make items, okay, Chad? The way how you make items, you make the item, so this is the new one, the Galvanic Azurite, you look at it, and you instantly see a use. This one says that crackling energies pull enemies together, and I do more lightning damage. Fuck yeah, that's good. Wow, bam. So there's instantly a use for this, right? I don't have to think 2 seconds about this. There's instantly a use. Good. Then we're going over to Druid, okay? Like, I'm gonna load up Druid, Chad. Boom. There is this Stormcrow Druid. We're looking at the new unique item. In a second. And it's the Kill of Blackwing. And you're saying Ravens deal bonus damage. You get bonus ranks to Raven. Raven deal double damage. Oh yeah, I can totally do a Raven build with this. Right? This makes sense. There is actually a companion Druid build. Okay? Like, amazing. Good. Now then, we're gonna go over to Necromancer. And you're going to look at the, let's get class uniques, right? All uniques. We're gonna get class uniques. Cool, 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 cool. So, we're going to be looking at the brand new focus. Where's the focus? Am I just blind? There it is. Gospel of the Devotee. Okay. Your basic skills are empowered. Damaging an enemy with a basic skill causes them to take increased damage from your other basic skills. So, not only... Maron, schön, dass du da bist. Not only do I have to play 2 basic skills, okay? I have to play 2. I can't just play 1. I have to play 1 basic skill to empower the other. Oh yeah, and Reap attacks 10% faster. Decompose spawns a corpse faster. Hemorrhage triggers an additional burst on the initial target. And Bone Splinters pierce through enemies. What? So I have to play 2 useless basic skills to have one of them do 30% more damage. And they do attack faster, they make more corpses, and they pierce. And like... Druid Ravens deal 100% more damage. Sorceress deals a 60% more lightning damage. And I get Reap attacks 10% faster.
Greetings.
Let's sort... Okay, shall I sort Necromancer uniques with how useful they are? You can't make a build with this one anymore. they broke this one. This one has been never good. That one is not good. That one has never been good. This one has never worked. This one is useless. That one finally works, but not as your weapon, so it's fundamentally useless as well. The Bloodless Wall does not work. The Unmaker has never worked. The Motor Crew has never worked. Mutilator Plate doesn't work. Deathless Visage is useless at this point. Cruise Embrace doesn't do anything anymore. Hell from Below doesn't do anything. Endurance Memory is trash. And that's pretty much what we have left. Right, you know, minion, like these are all minion related. So this is like minion build, right? This is being played by a shadow build. This is also shadow build. This can be used as boots and chaotic uniques. So this one would be useless if we didn't have chaotic uniques. This one would be useless if we didn't have chaotic uniques. So out of all these uniques, these are the useful ones. But my biggest problem is just like, who at Blizzard? And I know the Blizzard devs. I know they're not stupid. This is what irks me. So you have to understand, guys. I was at the Blizzard HQ. I met these people. I know they're not smart. I know they care for the game. I know they're trying to make the game better. And they're certainly not. They're not idiots. They actually know how the game works. But how did you make this item then? Right? Even. Okay, chat. Now let's put on our thinking caps, okay? Even if we look at the Bone Splinter, it says Bone Splinters pierce through enemies, okay? Now you could say, hey, chat, Path of Trag'Oul makes Bone Splinters. So if I play the Path of Trag'Oul and the Gospel of the Devotee, then technically another basic skill would get more damage. Or if I reap and then the Bone Splinters out of the Path of Trag'Oul would do more damage. Or if you would play Bone Spirit, so there is a Bone Spirit build that says, casting Bone Spirit launches Bone Splinters, dealing 600% increased damage. Okay, so we would go for Bone Spirit spam and Bone Splinters would go out. Cool. And now you would say, well, Gospel of the Devotee, your Bone Splinters pierce through enemies, but then what? But then what? Like, now they're piercing, so what? What's so useful about that? If I could at least have my Bone Splinters are homing in and like their return and yeah, right? Bone Splinters are homing in on targets. But even then it's shit. I mean, they also made this item called the Motor Crew. Okay, Chad, the Motor Crew. So the Motor Crew says, when consuming a corpse, there's a 40% chance to also create a decaying skeletal simulacrum that seeks enemies but cannot attack. When it dies, it explodes for 2,000 shadow damage. Cool. And this effect is treated as a macabre skill. It's useless. It has never been used a single time by any single person. This item has literally not been played since it was put in the game. Why is it in the game? What I'm missing is a bit the reiteration of these things, right? So that after a while, Blizzard comes like back and looks at this stuff and is like, yeah, okay, we made a mistake. Let's fix it. But that one actually never happened. So this is why Necromancer is this season not exciting. I have a Bloodwave build. Bloodwave build is really cool. You could probably play a Bone Spirit build too, because Bone Spirit could be using the power here called a Brawn over Brains for more damage. So that should be nice, and we should be doing some Essence Shebang Bang. You could also, like, interestingly enough, I don't actually know if this works, but does Alter the Balance work on Bone Spirit? No, sadly not. Because I was wondering, like, Bone Spirit turns my base core skills into ulti, like here. So this says Your base core skills are now empowered as ultimate skills, cost no essence, but have a 20-second cooldown. So what I was asking myself is, if I don't play Alter the Balance, right? My Blood Wave is an ultimate skill again with cooldown, and this one is a normal essence cost skill. But what about Bone Spirit? Bone Spirit has 40,000 damage with a 104% multiplier, right? And it has a 10-second cooldown reduction. If I now play Alter the Balance, it should turn Bone Spirit into an ultimate skill, but sadly it doesn't change the scaling. That's bullshit. Because on these, it actually changes the scaling. So it almost doubles the scaling of the Blight. Okay? But sadly, Bone Spirit only gets more cooldown without getting any of the bonuses. Right? That would have been interesting. Because you can see it here on the Blight. The Blight does 168% damage. And now the Blight does 84% damage. So it actually doesn't profit from this. Oh no, but what we get more is the scaling on the per spirit. Chat, look at this. Damage is increased by 6% for each point of essence spent when casting Bone Spirit. If I now go for the Alter the Balance, it's actually 6% of damage. Oh, that's a lot. Considering that you usually play this build, and we're usually having around, you have 300, right? So if you have 300 essence times 4%, is another 1,200 damage per cast of your Bone Spirit. But obviously, if you're now having 300 times 6, that's another 600% more damage. And that's not bad. Can we make that work? Can we make that work for no reason? I mean, I haven't made a build in a while, so I forgot how you actually make. I forget how you make Bone Spirit builds. But let's see. Can we throw Bone Spirit together? So we made 2 Ball of Lightning Sword builds, guys. We made a Barbarian Hammer of Ancient build. But what about, like, Bone Spirit? Can I find, like, an old Bone Spirit build somewhere? Let's see. I forgot more about Bone Spirit than I ever knew. You know what? We're gonna just yoink the latest updated Bone Spirit build from the internet. Sarok should have one. Yeah? And then we're gonna try to make it go crazy with Chaos Uniques. Because it should work. And interestingly enough... Let me think about it. There is actually something very intriguing here. So we're gonna play Sacrificial 2. We're gonna play Imprisoned. And you have your Bone Skills do shadow damage instead. If my Bone Skills are doing shadow damage, okay? Guys? Can we not consider playing... Okay, let me show you something so you understand. Let's get all the items. Okay. Full character boost. Let's put all the things away. Boss temper manual, it's not needed. Generic temper manual, it's not needed. Layer keys not needed. Nightmare escalation sigils. Okay, so... Step number 1. I need boots. Okay, I need boots, and the boots need to be either Blood Moon Breeches or the Banished Lord's Talisman. Because why? Okay, like wait, can Blood Moon Breeches cannot be right? Yeah. That's good. So that means the Banisher's Talisman can be my boots. That means my actual Lex can be the Bloodmoon Breaches. Bloodmoon Breaches, thank you very much. Then we need my gloves to be... Path of Targul. Can Path of Targul be my gloves? No, they can't be my gloves. No. Then my gloves need to be Banished Lord's Talisman, and my boots need to be Path of Targul. Right? Now, let's do it that way around. Okay, we need... Mrak, where are you? Mrak, I can't see you, brother. Are you okay? Any boots? But are not the other boots. Boots. Path of Targul with 24. Should be sufficient. Okay. I need a offhand with maximum resource. That's going to be so shitty to pull off. Okay, and lastly, I need my chest piece. We have pass. We have this. Ah, yeah. I need my chest to be the Bloodless Scream. And I'm not sure if that's actually going to work. Okay, my chest is supposed to be Black River, Bloodless Scream. So, because the Bloodless Scream says your darkness skills have a 240% chance. My darkness skills do 240% damage, right? I wonder if with the aspect, and this is something I don't know and I need to try. If with the aspect, you got Bone Spirit. Okay, we get a couple here. You get the, when Bone Spirit explodes inside Bone Prison, it goes pop pop. You get the phasing poltergeist. Bone Spirit explodes phase different, right? And you also have the decaying humerus, which says your bone skills now deal shadow damage instead of physical damage. But does that make them still? Does that make them a shadow skill? That's why I don't know. So this is Bone Prison. No, it does not actually make it a darkness skill. Okay. It just deals shadow damage too. Because I wanted to know if it actually would make the Bloodless Scream work. Because Bloodless Scream says darkness skills, right? It specifically says your darkness skills. So that one doesn't actually work, sadly. Would have been too funny if it did. That means ring, chest, helmet. We find the NPC, it's in Cat Bardu. This is Cat Bardu. Here, Cat Bardu. And it's like the Cat Bardu waypoint, and it's to the right of it. Okay, we got all 3 items here. I wonder if I can get enough maximum resource. Maximum resource here. So you can get like less maximum resource when you actually play the helmet. Let's try to get core skills. I really wonder if we could go back to actually playing Bone Spirit. Oh my goodness, did I just get 7 ranks to core skills, chat? I am the chosen one. I am the chosen one. Why do I have Black River gloves, chat? Instead of Banish Lord's Talisman gloves. Do they not have Banish Lord's Talisman gloves? That's Black River gloves. That's not Banish Lord's Talisman. Someone needs to hit the bone skills at least once. For sadness. Because you can't see it in Cat Bardu. Are you on the PTR? It's on the PTR, right? Sorry, on the test realm. Not on the normal realm. Oh, come on now. Yeah, give me at least like the bone skills one single time. I broke the game. It's crashing now. See, like, even if you have unlimited resources, chat, that doesn't mean that you're going to be hitting what you're looking for, right? This is the sad part. Even if you have unlimited resources, even if you have everything at your disposal, even if the world is at your fingertips, you're still having, like, an absolute ass time to kind of, like, get to the point where you want to be, right? I mean, I get 5 core skills, 5 core skills, and 7 core skills. So that's pretty PogChamp. Okay, we gotta get gloves. I need glove. Banish Lord's Talisman glove. Thank you very much. Because I accidentally screwed that up. What do we want the Banish Lord's Talisman as a glove instead of the amulet? That's actually very simple, chat, okay? Because if I make my Banish Lord's Talisman be a glove, then it's already stronger than when it would be an amulet because the aspect is boosted. But the aspect that I'm getting on the glove, on the amulet, is also stronger than the Banish Lord's Talisman being my amulet. Does that make any sense to you? Right? So I'm like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. I get a stronger aspect on the Banish Lords, and I get a stronger aspect on what would have been the Banish Lords. So I get more damage. Yay. Good. Now we need the worst thing in the world, and that would be getting an offhand that actually is good. So, generic uniques are getting away, infernal compasses are getting away, random legendaries we can keep. Runes of Invocation can go away, seasonal currency, and that too. So now the bigger question is, if we play an overpowered build, ladies and gentlemen, where we're going to try to make our things overpower like crazy. Do we do more overpowered damage, or do we do the alter the balance? I think alter the balance is obviously better because it makes our cooldown lower. So we should play alter the balance. Then if we play alter the balance, we could also go for... like hit Chaotic Burst for cooldown reduction. It's like the bit of a problem with the Necro. It doesn't have any good things going on, right? It's actually really sad for the Necro. So, like, as soon as you choose Alter the Balance, right, I can't use any of the core skill thingies because they don't work. Because they would reduce my resource, so that's terrible. We can have random Chaotic Burst or Wrap About Me and cooldown reduction, but that's about it. Like, you can't really do much more. I wonder if you could play Unstable Power, which says chaotic magics erupt from your basic skills. When I actually spam like my Bone Spirit and the Bone Spirit explodes, if I could have that like just like, you know, go out. Sever build is hitting hard with overpowers. I mean, Sever build has always been hitting hard, so that's not a surprise. Oh, I need to actually swap over to the different world tier first. I wish you could choose your affix. I'd been happier spending more resources to be able to choose. Malachi, I wish we could choose or replace. So what I want to have for masterworking or tempering is that when I masterwork upwards, like I could choose to accept the new one or keep the current one I have somehow. Like saying this like for tempering, actually, if I plan to, like, let's say on tempering I want to reach the here, the Bone Spirit deals double damage, okay? So now let's assume I would hit the Bone Spirit deals double damage. So if I now go for Temper, that I could choose to accept the new one or keep the old one, right? Because obviously sometimes you just want to make it better by a minuscule amount. By a very, very, very minuscule amount. You're like, yeah, but the new one is actually really, really bad, so I don't want it. Worst part about Bone Spirit is that you need to hit the... Bone Spirit does double damage, and you actually need to hit that, like, 3 times. Right? There's no discussion. Because it's so important to have that double damage going on. It's really sad when you actually don't hit that. Should we play a 1? No, we shouldn't play a 1, but I also don't want to do something else. So our biggest problem right now is that this one doesn't exist anymore. So this was lucky hit chance to heal, right, Chad? The lucky hit chance to restore resource does not exist anymore. So what do we do now? What do you do now to restore resource? That's hard, right? That's such a like, eh. And probably the biggest issue that you have with this build at the current point. Not having that lucky hit chance anymore is awful. That might also be why we have to play the Bloodless Scream, because the Bloodless Scream actually still has it. So could it be, ladies and gentlemen, that we would just have to play a Bloodless Scream for the fact that it can actually do that? Would that not be a little bit crazy? Play a unique item only for that reason. What I'm trying to get is maximum resource by now, in case you wonder. Because you really, 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 really need the maximum resource. One would guess that getting that maximum resource should be easier. I got one for a different build. Like I had to get a totem with maximum resource as well. It was a hassle, Chan. Let me tell you that much. But I got it eventually. That's also why trading will always be mandatory for Diablo 4. At least my PoE I can play without trading. But in Diablo it's kind of needed because otherwise you're just going to go insane. Chance to restore resources a temper for jewelry. Yeah, but it's not good enough because it's only a fraction of resource that's being restored. So the weapon was always more. Weapon used to always be a huge chunka dunka badonka dong. Right? We were talking about the chance to actually restore 100% resource was possible with the greater affix. And that's not anymore. It's the biggest blow to tons of builds that might like straight up disable tons of builds from working. Sure, you get the temper, but the temper is 15%, I think. Well, we could go back to the Essence on Kill. So there used to be an Essence on Kill version of this build, where you actually used Essence on Kill to get like what you were looking for. That was actually interesting because the way it worked is that you put up your bone prison, and whenever you like removed your bone prison, that counted as killing the bone prison, and that restored your whole resource. It was a bit weird, but you could just restore your resources with bone prisons pretty much. Okay, there's no chance I'm not getting cooldown reduction because we're like so close to actually getting cooldown reduction. Where is that cooldown reduction? Seriously. There's supposed to be a cooldown reduction here, chat, and I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, imagine this would be not free money from the game. Imagine that would be not free money.
May your road be filled with wonders.
Okay, bone augments, bone spear. Sorry, bone spirit. So maybe break out the temper scrolls. I will do it. Thank you, bone spirit. What are you building? We're checking how good Bone Spirit build could be because the alternating the balance. Okay, so why are we doing Bone Spirit, Chan? If you use this, alter the balance, it turns your core skill, in this case Bone Spirit, into an ultimate skill. What it does is it gave me 6% damage per point of essence on cast, instead of 4% damage on point of essence per cast. That's 2% more per point of essence on cast, which leads to a 600% damage multiplier down the line. So you can imagine that I am actually quite excited to try this out and see where it goes, right? Interestingly enough, you could take maximum resource on the amulet now, right? Because we have the amulet. And amulets can actually have maximum resource, which is intriguing to me. Okay, we can have the maximum resource there. We need the... What aspects do I need? Let's double check here on the aspects quickly. Bone Spirit. So you're playing... We're playing sacrifice bonuses, and we're playing Bone Spirit seeks out nearby enemies. Interesting. Do you ever see one Poltergeist, right? Poltergeist is insane. You get sacrifice bonuses that we can play on here, which is great. Actually, double insane. And then we would have... Bone Prison Explosion. Spirit. Bone. Why not just get the mana perk and 20k X4 is still way better? Ah, Andre. The mana perk is for Sorks only. This is not a Sork. This is a Necro. A Necro does not have the perk you're asking for. Okay? We don't have that specific one. So why not just get that? Because it's impossible. You can't just get that. Hopefully that answers your question. Well, we don't just do that. Okay, let's see. How much How much cooldown reduction can I whip out? I wonder for each darkness skill in your action bar, but no, that we can't actually mess around with that. That wouldn't work. You could probably do a Bone Storm. If Bone Storm would work correctly, we could actually do Bone Storm with this build. But sadly, we don't have Bone Storm. That would help. Okay, for essence generation, we're currently at 162 essence. Let's see if I go for the Paragon boards, because they changed a bit how the Paragon boards work, so I gotta see if we get enough. I'm pretty sure we'll do this all, and we'll come to the conclusion that it doesn't work, Chad. Okay? I'm sorry if I'm already taking a bit of the excitement away. But I'm sadly under the assumption that we might reach the point where we're like, ah, yeah, shit, it doesn't actually work. Why, what's going on with Bone Storm? Bone Storm is not multiplying up correctly. So Bone Storm is supposed to give you tons of bonus damage multiplier for every Bone Storm that's up, but it's not doing that. It's not giving the bonus damage multiplier for the things that's up. So right now it's just a ginormous disappointment. Okay. It's not you, sir. It's the Bone Storm. I hope you understand. Not your fault. The Bone Storm. It's not bone storming as correctly as it should. Maximum essence, maximum essence, maximum essence, maximum essence. Okay. Very important is here crit chance and crit chance to then get 10 essence and 40% damage. Okay, that's nice. You get frailty and the bloodbath board too. Do you think skill trees in general need to be reworked? I mean, the skill trees in Diablo have always been the most basic bitches in existence in terms of what skill trees in ARPGs can do. So would I like to see the skill trees in Diablo be reworked? Absolutely. Unquestionable. Will that ever happen? Maybe with the expansion, right? I mean, reworking the skill trees is another major rework. It's not like, oh yeah, we just reworked the skill trees. Nah, that's a significant big thing to do. So we most likely have to wait for the expansion before we get a rework like that, I assume. Now, I obviously don't work at the company, so do take my word with a grain of salt of what might or might not transpire in the future. But I think it's really easy to assume that we probably have to wait for like another like big update like the expansion before we see something, right? But that's like a very easy assumption to make. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket science smart super engineer for this. It's rather easy to figure out that that's probably going on. Amplify. Probably Gatekeeper is better. And then we take... We don't have like... Oh, no, actually you can take Scent of Death probably over Blood Begets. Is this Torment 4? Yes, sir. This is Torment 4. Did I miss any Pulverized Druid builds? That was yesterday, Kelvin. The Pulverized Druid is uploaded already. It is stronger than ever. The actual damage boost it has received is ridiculous. I say ridiculous, sir, and I mean ridiculous. It is mental how much more powerful it has gotten. So we're very good off. Let me tell you that. With Pulverize. Very, very good. Very good. How is Season 10 testing going? Quite some interesting builds. Right now, we want to see if we can do something with Bone Spirit. I fear that we might not have the cooldown reduction going on to make it work, because right now, I would have to get... I mean, we have Rapid Ossification, right? Rapid Ossification works nowadays. Rapid Ossification says every 100 essence you spend reduces cooldowns of your bone skills by 2.5 seconds, but we're at 17.56 seconds. 17.56 seconds. Nah, we need at least one bone temper. So you need at least the Bone Spirit cooldown by 15% probably. What is better, if I get Rapid Ossification or if I get that? Because I still have to spend the 100 spirit. Right? What's 15%? What's 20% of 17.56?
Use it well.
Oh, minus. Sorry. How much is every rank of ossification? 0.5. Let's see what we're getting. Hell, vulnerable damage. Could you not give me vulnerable damage? Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. Let's try to hit that cooldown one single time, so I just have seen it. There's even a bigger issue with this build that we haven't mentioned, and that is you don't have barrier, so you're just going to die. So you might actually have to play this build with Bone Storm in the long run to even remotely make it work. Okay, so we got the Bone Spirit cooldown reduction, which would bring us down to 13.68 seconds. Now, if a cast of 100 Spirit is shaving off 2.5 seconds, and we cast this with 200 Spirit every time, then we would shave off 5 seconds. But if we're shaving off 5 seconds is not enough, right? So we would need another cooldown reduction here on this one. So congratulations, that's even more Bone Spirit cooldown reduction, and we're just gonna get that for now. Okay, that would bring us down to 11.4 seconds, and if I now cast the Bone Spirit with 200 Essence, it's 5 seconds low. If I then would critical strike with the Bone Spirit, I would lose another 7 seconds, so that would actually work now, right? Set that I actually do critical strike, because that's where the different problem comes in, because we're sitting at what critical strike chance of 96.2%. Why do I have 96.2%? We have 24.4 here. What do we have critical strike? Oh yeah, we have the helmet with the critical strike chance and that with critical strike chance. Ignore me. That's good. We actually have easy critical strike chance. Good, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Plus the actual ranks in here, so we don't need 20 ranks. We just need 12 ranks. That's decent. We like it. Let's leave it in here for now. Good, we have the 100% critical strike chance easily. That's nice to see, but can I even like get some essence refund here? But we're also sitting only at 200 essence like this. 200 essence is not enough. You want 275 essence. But if I now take the potion of resourcefulness, that would bring me up to 222. I don't think I'm actually getting the essence bonus from the passive. Let's double check. Let's double check. Because I'm unsure how we are getting to 275 essence like that, huh? Can we make it? We probably have to sacrifice this one here, because that would bring us up. And we get more shadow damage, and we would get more crit damage. Yeah. No, Ziliax, the sword is not good for Death Trap Orc anymore. Our Hydras consider minions, they're considered summons. Which is minions. I have 306 essence right now. Okay, that's good. Now we just have to regenerate 306 essence, Chan. That's 403 million without, like, throwing up everything that we can do. Okay, how do I get essence back now? We're sitting at essence generation plus 74.1%. Because we do actually have our Shroud of the False Death, which does give you resource generation as well. The problem is that you can't sacrifice an aspect for it. And there's also no aspect I could sacrifice for it. Our lucky hit chance to get essence is gonzo. The only way how I could get meaningful essence, and that's like really the saddest part, is... So if I go for chest armors, chat. I go for chest armors. The best part to get it is this one. It has up to a 15% chance to restore 45.6% primary resource. And that would be the only reason to play it. Because with this on, you could just do... But we would be losing some cooldown reduction on the rapid ossification, so it's only 1.5 seconds, which makes it 1.5 seconds and 7 seconds is not enough. Which means I would have to put my Earth Petition away for now. So we need helms then. And it would be only for the essence restoration, and I would hate that because the amount of damage you actually lose for this is crazy. But like getting the Bloodless Scream with the 100% restoration would be mad, right? So let's do helms. Mother Embrace is an option. No, Mother's Embrace is not an option. Sadly, sorry. Oh, I didn't pick up one single helm, and that's the... No? Where's the helm that I didn't pick up, Chad? There's a Bloodless Scream helmet missing. Banished Lords, Black River, there it is. So here, restore resource. You can see that? And I can now go... But that's the problem. Can I really recommend you, like... So this is how the build would work, Chad. You just have to get a helmet that is a Bloodless Scream, and that has to have the perfect... like percentage on restore resource, and then you're good. Okay, listen, chat. So in case you get this, then you're good, but only then. Otherwise, you're screwed. That's the only reason why we play this item. Okay. No other reason. Just that. See, it works. I'm wondering where the cooldown problem comes in. Because there should be no cooldown problem. Seems a bit weird. Let me actually get the Bone Spirit cooldown reduction just up so we don't have this happening anymore. Give me a second. We're missing crit chance. That's what it's causing. We shouldn't miss much because I get 20% bonus, which brings us to 67.2 plus the 10% from there. So if I actually now go and I reroll a reroll a stat like that overpower damage here into critical strike chance. We're sitting at 67. We're sitting at 75 plus 20 plus 10. So that's it. We're donezo. Perfect. Okay, now that we have this going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's juice things up further. So, you know what the biggest problem is with this? That I did all of this to do less damage than the new Bloodwave build, right? So I did all of this, ladies and gentlemen, to be more vulnerable and do less damage than the Bloodwave build. So yeah, great. Bloodwave Barbarian, no, it's the new Bloodwave. Holy, the new Bloodwave is actually fun to play. Are you excited for the Dune update? Well, the Dune Phase 2 update is quite far away, or I actually haven't paid attention to when it's reasonably coming. I'll be honest. And we're like super squishy as well. We're like super squishy actually. I need to autocast the Decrepify. Wait a second. I need Tum what? Tum. What? And we need Hawk. And another Thol. You gonna play PoE 3? Yes, sir. PoE 3 is gonna be rad. Okay, so you do this, then you do that, and then you like we're spamming this, right? And the damage is cool. Oh, there's 8 billion damage. That's kind of nice. Is it not bad? If we're then not critting or anything, then it's awkward. And as soon as we get like to anything that takes more than one hit to kill, you're gonna get to this problem that Necromancer has. Necromancer is not unstoppable, right? So if you walk into a bunch of enemies to like then spam cast them, what happens is that you die. Okay. Also, my damage is only 4 billion right now, which is quite disappointing. See, like, that guy just cast his chain, and the chain would have killed me. I would have not been able to move out of this chain. I think we might have to go back to the Splinter Spirit Restoration technique. So there used to be a technique where you use the Bone Splinters, and the Bone Splinters would actually give you enough resource to, like, keep spamming. That was a good one. It kind of worked out. It wasn't too bad. Wasn't too ugly. Give you like a lot of overpowers. 11.6 billion, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Double digits. Whoa, 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 whoa. The problem is that we expected a bit more from 600% than that, right? I really wonder if this splinter technique would work out. Right, so we did all of this to have like a very mediocre build right now that can beat the season, but the problem is the investment, right? So if you compare this to the Druid build right now, the Druid build literally needs to get like one single item as a Chaos Armor, and it's gonna go insane, okay? If the Druid gets that one specific Chaos Armor, it's like, what the fuck? That's so insane. And this build is like, yeah, so, you know, if we're... If we're getting all the items together, then we're just like a worse build. Yeah, that's like, you know, eh. This might be a bad build idea. Oh no, Steven, you can definitely make this scale properly better, something, but like it won't be good for pit pushing or something, right? It's also just like too expensive to make, right? We need like one chaotic unique. You have one, you need the Shroud of False Death. Like you want to have the Ring of Starless Skies, right? So this is like a build you do because you want to do it, but not because it's actually smart to do. Right? How are you, Game Project? I'm doing very well. I mean, we did 2 insane Ball of Lightning builds, Chad. We have a very good Hammer of Ancients Slammer build, and that was also really cool. We have our 3 Druid builds. We have another Sorceress. Like, all in all, I am super pleased with this, especially with the Ball of Lightning builds, because people do like Ball of Lightning, right? So we have a Ball of Lightning Overpower build, and we have a Ball of Lightning Zooming build. And I think both are great. Like, you gotta consider what purpose, right? So the Ball of Lightning Overpower build will probably be better for the pit. Because if I'm going, like, into pit 90, like I do pit 90s with Sword currently, right? And we do the Ball of Lightning Overpower build, I can do, like, hundreds of billions of damage with this right now, correct? Which is kind of cool. And the system, how it works, is also kind of cool. So, like, you do this, right? And then I do Ball of Lightning, and as you can see, my Ball of Lightning just does here. That's 200 billion damage. Congratulations. So, like, there's another 200 billion damage. So Ball of Lightning just goes, like, there's another 300 billion damage. So Ball of Lightning, like, you know, it's really cool, really fun. Like, good, like, you know. Good damage. Big damn, Chan. Big damn. We all like to see that, and you can't die, by the way, on top of that. So that's also kind of cool. So very nice, far too nice. So, but obviously this kind of build you wouldn't want to play when you're doing the Helltide, right? So if we're now looking, hey Pony, do you want to farm the Helltide for cinders and stuff? Well, let's do something different then, should we? What's the best way to level up quick as a solo player? True. We have a couple of level guides on the channel. There is, you usually do seasonal quests, Helltides, Whispers, and then Strongholds from level 35 on. So there is like this version of the Ball of Lightning. And the cool part about this version of the Ball of Lightning is that it has insane mobility, right? But on top of the insane mobility, you can cast while moving. So what you would be doing probably is you would have your pet out to collect cinders for you, right? So pet is out to collect cinders. Then we would just run up to things. And I would hold down my left mouse button and start just zooming. And this is just me going through the Infernal Hordes, right? The only problem is it probably wouldn't pick up like the cinders that are dropping behind me. This is me versus the Infernal Hordes. So like obviously the other one is like cool for the overpowered damage things and so on, but being able to go like this through the Infernal Hordes, that seems like good for me. By the way, we also gravitational pull enemies if they would actually survive, but the thing is, like, they won't survive at this point, so no gravitational pulling things. How is this going to be a hardcore? Is it tanky enough? Sword can't die this season unless they fix it, and Sword could die, but they kind of made it a mistake by giving Sword the mana shield thingy, because the mana shield thing is just crazy. So yeah, that's like Sork in a nutshell. And then you do this one here. Whee! Sorceress! Let's go! And the good part is, as soon as you get the Oaken's Catalyst, this build should work, right? So it's not like that you need a lot of things to make this work. No, you just need Oaken's Catalyst and the actual powers, and it should work. Why is this so strong now? Okay, like, why does this work? Why does this, like, suddenly go crazy? Listen. And that is very simple. So you got Mana Shield, which helps you to not die, right? But Mana Shield actually enables you to play two things. First, Power Siphon. Your core skills deal 100% increased damage, but also reduce your maximum current resource by 20 for 6 seconds. This reduction stacks, but does not refresh. Okay, I have 12,000 mana. I still 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 have 12,000 mana. So I get 100% damage for free, right? Without doing anything. Then you also have your base core skill rank increases their mana cost by 10% and further increase their damage by 20%. Okay, cool. So my core skill ranks are 21. That means my Ball of Lightning costs 155 mana. I don't care. 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 Right? What I wonder is, could I play the Banished Lord's Talisman in this build as well? So right now we're playing Raiment of the Infinite, right? Which is nice. But what if I would actually... Sorry, that was pretty loud. What if I would play Banished Lord's Talisman on this one? Can I even randomly overpower and just add more damage to this? I mean, like, technically, there shouldn't be a problem with this. Right? Right? Or would you put it at the boots? I would just put the Raiment of the Infinite out, Katie, because we can pull things together. So why would I need the Raiment on the boots? That makes sense? Why did they make Rogue useless? Sir, don't go down that road. Sir, don't go down that road. On that road, it lies only sadness. So much sadness. Banished Lords should always overpower once you have 275 mana, if you then spend 275 mana with one cast. So Banished Lords needs you to not only have the mana, it also needs you to spend the mana. Now, we obviously make our core skill cost so much that, like, we can do this. Okay, helm, gloves, chest, helm, boots. Okay, let's get the Banished Lords. I want to at least try it out for this build, so we get a feeling for it. Okay, these are my boots, the Raiment boots, but I want the Banished Lord's boots. Banished Lord's boots? I just don't know if the interaction works out the way I want it to work out for this build. So that's my only concern here. Okay, if I now take the Banished Lord's Talisman and we would go into the pit, then technically all my like I spend 155 mana for Ball of Lightning. And technically, the Ball of Lightning that's rotating around me should then deal his damage as overpowered damage during the rotation, technically. Right? Okay. I see overpowers. Other critical strikes too. I think I've seen more non-critical strike overpowers currently. I mean, technically, I should be seeing non-stop, like... The problem is, I don't know how the calculation works on the item, right? Technically, I'm casting, like, these two, right? And it's like, here, like, it's then an overpower. It should always be there. Doesn't seem to be adding much damage, right? I mean, it was strong before, but this doesn't, like, really add much to it. I mean, not like the other one that does 400 billion with the overpower. Maybe you have no HP. HP does not scale overpower damage anymore, sir. HP has nothing to do with overpower damage scaling, okay? But yes, I would probably have to put in a I'd probably have to put in a overpower glyph to scale my overpower damage. Yeah, like bulb lighting is a dot, isn't it? Well, we have an item for it. So we have this item here called Oaken's Catalyst. That says casting ball of lightning instead creates a separate static field around you that damages all enemies within for 250% of ball of lightning damage per active ball. Now, I wonder if I understand that correct, that effect could overpower, right? That static field effect could overpower, if I'm not mistaken. Right? But yeah, the Banished Lords is not adding anything to this build, no. Okay, it was a cool thought, but it doesn't do it, so we can go back to the glass cannon. Is there going to be a Q&A for other classes that are not on the display at the moment? For the other classes, we already have the videos out. I mean, we have covered the Druid completely. We have covered the Necro with a build. We are going to give you the Barbarian build that we have in case you missed it. So Barbarian is Hammer of Ancients right now. It's super cute to play because you pretty much run around and you just hold down your Hammer of Ancients button. And we made our Hammer of Ancients cost 155 resource. Okay, Chad. So, like, get a load of this, ladies and gentlemen. So, the plan with this build is we're also playing the Banished Lord's Talisman as our boot, as our pens. And then we're going to be playing the... So, we have the Banished Lord's Talisman here. And we get the Crown of Lucian. The Crown of Lucian says that your core skill is more expensive. Okay? And what we managed to do is we managed to actually get the cost of our core skill up to... 150, and now you can see we always have full resource, and we are pretty much every second hit with the Hammer of Ancients is now a guaranteed overpower. So we're actually going for the overpowers into the overpowers into the overpowers into the overpowers. And I think if I would now like get better items and better tempers, that would actually lead to hundreds of billions of overpower damage. Right now it's like well, what are we looking at? We're looking at here 20 to 50 billion. Which is obviously not that much, but we could get more overpower damage out of that. Because obviously, like, 20 billion damage is not enough to properly kill elites, right, Chad? I mean, who would think that? The biggest issue is that it's one Hammer of Ancient hit, right? So this is not like multi-hits in one. I am hitting one time, and obviously if there's multiple mobs, you're doing a lot of damage to them. But if there's one single mob, if it's not a boss mob, it's just a standard elite, right? And you're just hitting one single mob for not that much damage, because it's just one hit for 20 billion damage. And obviously one hit for 20 billion damage is sad. Like, who does even look at a 20 billion damage hit? No one. I know. That's not really exciting. So this build so far is decent, but it's definitely not going to be like crazy pit pushing. At least not compared to the other builds who just do pit 100 on one butt cheek. I wonder if you could get, though, your Fury up to 275 Fury. And we could get our skill up to a 275 cost as well, right? Because technically, you could also play the your core skills here. You could... No, actually, you don't have the one to make core skills more expensive, sadly. So that one we can't play. So yeah, we're playing Beast Cornered and Mart Guard. It's funny. What class are you going to start? Right now, we're going to start with Druid. Because Druid has 3 builds that are all very easy to achieve, that are all ultra powerful. You can get Boulder build super simple, you can get Pulverized build super simple, and you can get the Stormcrow build super simple. So I'd probably start with Pulverize and then transition into one of the other two, as they're just so easy to pull off, right? Rogue, I already gave up on Rogue. Unless they are massively buffing Rogue or reworking something of that what they put in. Rogue's is DOA. Dead on Arrival. Spiritborn is also nothing interesting this season. It's more of the same. So Spiritborn and Rogue are both like absolutely out. And sad. For me, it's going to probably be Druid, Sorc, and Necro again as the 3 top classes to really dominate. Good. That being said, Chan, I'm done for this Sunday. I have some family stuff, some birthday for Christina's mom later. There will be a video on the Ball of Lightning Sorcs because I don't want to keep them from you. So the Zooming Sorc and also the Booming Sorc. So two of these. Together with the Charged Bolt build. So there's actually 3 Sorc builds for you. That's going to be tomorrow's video. And then the up and coming week is going to be having a lot of Path of Exile 2 content. So just be aware of that. We got to analyze the patch, break it down, get you starter builds. Because obviously from the 29th on, it's going to be Path of Exile 2 on this channel. Also, it's Saturday, not Sunday, yes. Sunday is, by the way, going to be a stream too. So therefore, I'm done for tonight. Thank you very much for coming, watching, lurking, chatting. And I hope to see you all tomorrow again for more. Take care.